Thank you, ma'am. I would like to request Srimati Gaikwad, Member Secretary, Manipur State Legal Services Authority, to please deliver the welcome and keynote address for today's program.
In short, Masalsa. I would like to welcome our respected chief guest of this program, Srimati Dr. Binota Meinam, Chairperson, Manipur State Commission for Women, our esteemed moderator. He is not yet arrived, I think. Srimati Aribam Noutuneshwari, Devi, respectable district and session judge, Thobal, Srimati Dr. Priyadarshini Gangte, Assistant Professor, Sri Pradip Phanjoubam, sorry, journalist and editor of Imphal Review of Arts and Politics, Manipur, Sri Sadananda, the Deputy Member Secretary, Manipur State Legal Services Authority, and all the participants present here. Coming to the theme on addressing violence against women in Manipur. First of all, I would like to highlight that violence against women is one of the world's most prevalent human rights violations, having serious short and long-term physical, economic, and psychological consequences on women, preventing their full and equal participation in society. We all know all forms of violence against women includes domestic violence, femicide, sexual violence such as sexual harassment, rape, trafficking of women, child marriage, forced marriage, online or digital violence such as cyberbullying, etc. One characteristic of it is that it knows no social or economic boundaries and affects women and girls of all socio-economic backgrounds, an issue that needs to be addressed in both developing and developed countries. Global estimates indicate that about 1 in 3 women worldwide have experienced either physical or sexual intimate partner violence or non-partner violence in their lifetime. Rates of reported domestic violence cases are tremendously increased because of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, globally, less than 40% of the women who experience violence sought help of any sort. In Manipur too, the trend of violence against women in the state is increasing and domestic violence tops the chart. The seriousness can also be seen from the report of Imphal Free Press dated 25th of June 2020, which stated that since the lockdown began, there were 91 cases of crime against women that included 16 rape cases, 5 murder cases, 7 suicide cases, 3 suspicious death cases, 6 life attempts, 21 assault cases, 9 missing cases, 6 trafficking cases, 8 cybercrime-related cases, 1 case of molestation, 3 attempt to murder, 2 child marriage cases, 1 attempt to sell baby girl, and 1 death on delivery case in Manipur. In most of the cases, reporting is the first step towards ending the are strictly adhered to in many areas of Manipur, which need to relook into. Hence, access to justice for women, victims of violence, is a key issue here. Manipur State Legal Services Authority, in short MASALSA, has been working towards making justice accessible to all, to promote amicable settlement of cases and spread legal awareness in the state. The authority has been providing that free and competent legal services to the weaker sections of the society. Women are entitled for free legal aid by virtue of Section 12, Clause C of the Legal Services Authorities Act 1987, irrespective of her income or financial status. I quote, irrespective of her income or financial status. And hence, any woman can avail free legal aid by approaching to the nearest or convenient legal aid clinics, front offices of the district legal services authorities or state legal services authorities. Reducing or preventing violence against women requires a community-based and sustained engagement with multiple stakeholders for proper and adequate intervention of all levels. It may be mentioned that public in general and women victims of violence needs to be aware of the rights conferred to women by law and order to fight against deception, exploitation, and deprivation of legal rights. Enhance awareness on the existing laws, policies, and schemes to address the issue is required at all levels. With this objective, we are organizing today's panel discussion cum interactive session on the theme Addressing Violence Against Women in Manipur, in collaboration with Manipur State Commission for Women, MSCW. I hope that today's panel discussion cum interactive session will highlight the prevailing issues on violence against women in the state and will bring out effective ways to address it so that vulnerable women, victims, could get their due rights and justice. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Madam. Next, I would like to request the chief guest of this panel discussion and interactive session, Professor Dr. Binota Meinam, Chairperson, Manipur State Commission for Women, to please deliver a short speech. Madam.
Good afternoon, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm very thankful to Manipur State Legal Service Authority for giving me such a good and insight privilege for us with the Manipur State Women Commission, which is working on for the last 12 years for the welfare and the justice of the women in the state. Particularly, I'm very thankful to Member Secretary Srimati Gaipal Galmay for making such a good program, which I was not able to do that, even though instruction has given by the National Women Commission from the central government. As well, today we have a very important, well-known, reputed social scientist and judicial service provider, Srimati Noutuneshwari. I am very delightful today to see her, and I am very grateful to him for working and giving the best service to the government for the justice of the women. And I apologize for the one sequence of the last function, which was confused by my colleagues. And here, my special thanks to my SP, our SP, Vikramjit, who has been working tremendously for the last 2 years with me for binding out this trafficking women in the state and from the outside. Last year, which has been, we having more than 145 trafficking women we have rescued and sent back to their native. That is why I remember my colleagues and very dutiful SP regarding women trafficking issues, how it prevalent and how it we are trying to prevent with the cooperation with us. And my dear young friends, Priyadarshini, who has been working for the last 10-20 years, I have seen in the social platform that he is working very well in the women empowerment as well. And all my young and ladies and gentlemen friends, ngasigi bibiriba topic chimaki di hone panel discussion da akoi matik chumna nei na bagi tanja amakak akoi lominaragani ano mashi tungoinaramaga aina ngasi commonly I would like to give a very most important clarification to the state and to the law enforcing body and to the judiciary collects that. Yes, we in Manipur, Manipuri women are facing a lot of the violence. That is why in the overall national picture, our picture has come on the fort. Very unfortunate. In this regard, I try to find out what are the root causes, how it happens. In India, Manipur society is a very decent society. But in terms of this violence against the women and crime against the women, how it comes in this picture? Slowly, slowly, I find out the reason. Some of our NGOs, some of our CSOs who are working for the women, for the last 10-20 years, I have seen it. They're working for the women violation, women problems and issues. By taking that advantages, they have been publishing a lot of the misleading data in the paper, not authentic data. I tried and I notified to them to pull off from where this data you have brought up in the paper. They can't explain. 2-3 times, 3-4 of the NGOs and CSOs I notified and pull off and summon off. Then many of them are stopped now to do this wrong things to the society. But still, 1 or 2, for example, this one recently happens in the last 1-2 months, since 2021. Women for Action Development, called, this is the name of the organization, they have published the data of the crime against the women of the state, which is very much contradict with the state police and the Manipur State Women Commission, which is having the state machinery who are working very, very hardly on this. Any data which are not available in the police authority, from where they are getting this data. It's very unfortunate. So by collecting and by formulating such a wrong data and baseless data, they put up in the paper. So people has taken it without authenticity. So today, on this platform, I would like to request to all the NGOs and the CSOs and any whoever individual who works for the betterment of the Manipuri women, please don't publish and please don't take any unauthentic data, and please don't use as a official. Today itself, our member secretary, Srimati Golmay, has using some data from the newspaper. How far that data of the newspaper has been authentic? This has to be analyzed by the state machinery. Srimati Golmay, secretary, you are very responsible and official personality in the state. So before using such kind of data, how far such kind of data is authentic, this have to be looked into the matter inside in the afterwards. Because you don't have any false report, but you are basing on the newspaper data. That newspaper data, how far it's true? Data authenticity, research authenticity must be there in the state. Without research, without any authenticity report, we should not use any kind of the data. Data is a very important area in a developing nation. Only from data we can see whether our nation is developing or underdeveloping, or we are in which status we are here. Only data can give you the proper picture. So, as a women activists of the state, yes, we have to curb the crime against the violence. We have to curb the domestic violence. I myself agreed on all that. But baseless data and unfounded data should not be used in the state machinery and should not be put up in any platform. For this matter, I am now ready to take up the legal issues and the legal notice to the NGOs. We have already sent it. Third time it has been sent, and the last part is to pull up. It is only, many of them are pull up, and now they have stopped it to do that, and still 2-3 NGOs and CSOs are going on. So we'll take up a necessary action immediately. Therefore, let us come to the point for today's agenda. The main agenda of today's discussion and interaction will be violence against the women in Manipur. So here many experts and many researchers is here, and many of our audience also will interact with the experts in the different topic, and my topic will be on the discussion. So now on, I won't much say about this topic today, and today I would like to have an opportunity to announce that shortly we'll have a sensitization program with judiciary. We have done many sensitization program with the police, and the police department has cooperating us like anything. Whatever we have sent, whatever we request, whatever they need to do, they have doing so far in my duration. But about this law, judiciary, at my best level, we need many discussions, problem regarding this violence against the women, what we need to do, what they want to do, and what is law saying. These are all things we need a long discussion with this. So, dear friends, let us have a very fruitful discussion today, because violence against the women in Manipur is a terrific issue in the state. Thank you.
a small clarification. Huziki ngasai kanoda one of the numbers mentioned in during the COVID times ki matamda free press ta sigi phonge aina one of the example pizza by one that doesn't mean that that data is for the whole state of Manipur, the crime. This is my clarification, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Okay. With this, I would like to request the esteemed moderator of today's program, Sri Rajendra Khetri, Head Department of Sociology, Manipur University, to please come on the dais. And also request all the panelists of today's program, Srimati Aribam Noutuneshwari Devi, MJS, District and Session Judge, Thawal, Manipur, Srimati Dr. Priyadarshini Gangte, Assistant Professor SKWC, Nambol, Sri TH Vikramjit Singh, MPS, Superintendent of Police, Tengnopal District, Manipur, and Sri Pradip Phanjoubam, Senior Journalist and Editor of Imphal Review of Arts and Politics, Manipur, Sri Sadananda Sorokhaibam, MJS Deputy Member Secretary, Manipur State Legal Services Authority, to please come up on the dais. I would like to request our esteemed moderator to please, the floor is yours, sir.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry to have kept you waiting. It's a pleasure for me to be here this afternoon, and an honor for me that I have been asked by Manipur State Legal Service Authority to moderate such an important discourse, such an important discussion on such a crucial issue facing the state today. Before I call out the speakers that we have it here, let me have a couple of minutes to say a few words. Violence against women is a global phenomenon. It's a global issue. It is, you could say, it is as old as the history of mankind. But unfortunately, all such instances of violence against women, whether in the developed countries or underdeveloped countries, they all have gone unnoticed, unreported, and unattended for a variety of reasons. And I'm not going to come up with those reasons out here. To cut a long story very short, things have changed now. Things have changed now in the sense that this issue of violence against women have now got the attention of governments, countries, state, policy makers, women groups, civil societies, and concerned citizens all over the world. And as a result, we have seen over the last so many decades, we have seen governments after governments formulating policy programs, coming up with schemes and mechanisms of protecting women from such violence and to help women to empower themselves all over the world. So now this has become the trend. And it's quite heartening, it's quite heartening to know, to see that our country, India, and my state, our state, Manipur, is not lagging behind in this direction. Talking about this violence against women always reminds me of sharing something that I have noticed, that I have observed in the last 2-3 couple of years. Say, for the last 2.5 years, in the state of Manipur, Manipur State Commission for Women has been rendering yeoman service to the cause of women. And I have seen, and I have noted, and I have read in the newspapers how this commission has been helping, organizing so many awareness campaigns, giving financial assistance to women groups, whether it is the valley or in hill areas, to bring about certain kind of gender sensitization. And this is something that we all must appreciate, and in fact, I would take this opportunity to say a big kudos to the Commission, and we all must give a big thumbs up to the Commission. Well, that said, the question, the issue that we all have it here today, the purpose of assembling here today is, how do you address the issue of violence against women, isn't it? Well, you know it. There are, and indeed there could be many reasons, perspectives of addressing this important, crucial issue. Say, whether it is academic perspective, or bureaucratic perspective, media perspective, and judicial perspective, and so on and so forth. I'm so happy that I'm going to listen, forget about moderating. I'm happy that I'm going to listen to some of the, insights which is going to be given to us by persons of eminence, persons of expertise, who are all experts in their own chosen field, what they are going to say, what would be their take as far as violence against women is concerned. Well, thank you so much for giving me this time. And now, without wasting any more time now, we have with us this afternoon, how many speakers we have? 6, 7. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we have with us 6 speakers who are going to tell us, who are going to share with us what is their take, what is their perception, and what would be their recommendations, what would be their suggested measures as far as violence against women is concerned. In the first place, let me have the satisfaction, let me have the pleasure of requesting the first speaker, who is none other than the Honorable Chairperson of Manipur State Commission for Women, Professor Dr. Binota Meinam, to take his own time and tell us what is that you feel so important to share with your friends, colleagues, and experts. But then again, I would like to request, not only to the Madam Chairperson, but to the subsequent speakers to be very judicial as far as time slot is concerned. Because if I have to go by time slot as given in the program, I think it is only 10 minutes. So now, this is the most difficult part of a moderator. So please try to wind up your presentation within this 10 minutes of time. Thank you so much. You can go ahead now.
Thank you, Professor, for giving me first chance to speak on. So let us, I will hear today, due to this limited time duration given by the moderator, I will focus on more on the solution strategies and pointing out the root causes of crime against the women in our state. Here today in this space, I won't elaborate to other national scenario, and I would not elaborate to the regional scenario too. I'll stick to the Manipur state. Yarbo. Yeah. Compromise, no compromise. Okay. Dear friends, okay, like your problem never. Yarbo. Nuaitraga noina asda tawse su tawse. Yarbo. Okay, dear friends, today we have addressing the violence against the women in Manipur. Violence against the women in Manipur haibasi anauba natre. Ngashigi Manipur society da thokliba thokdok wa thok mayam ase. Adubu officially haijaba targadi according to data collected from the state government authority and the Manipur State Women Commission, crime against the women as a total viewpoint today, akhoi tapna hantarakli. Aduga domestic violence na kahen hengala e haina e mayam da pawdam jabatai. Adubu mang da mitta thuiba thogdok mayam se karigi damakta given by the Constitution, given by the State Assembly Act, asuk yamna nupigi support tawra fawda karigidamagta no Manipur nga si crime against the women chi toina thokliba amadi domestic violence yamna kahen hengalakpagi maram si ay matang somdo aina agi pungning chingsan jage ai crime against women karino crime against makhal kaya to I ka haibena singbado madu sahi kungi mamangda nei nagraba pone aduna I madu da elaborate tawzararo hojik thoi ba problem sing issue sing masi kari dagi tholokpano amadi kamdong na masibu akhoi solve tawgadagi haibaromda ai mai sangjan janenge masida aina tawjaningba address ama khakti Manipur society da kari gida maktano crime against the women haibase asum thoktana leibagi marimse law mayamna support tawrasu commission mayam amamna makoida pidaba law yaudre makoida support tawdaba makoida saingak pidaba mafam leibu leisalaktre haina ai haijabatai adubu karaidano soinari base gap se kadaidano haiba matamda implementation ki stage da akhoi chauna soidona la amba matam sangna adubo yamna tapna 2017 18 dagi di mase tapna curb tokpa hogot lakli haina ai mayam da thamninge hogi ba mamang sida implementing agencies singsi phan leita bagira natraga thawa sabi da bagira natraga nature ne nupana nupi da fuba nupana nupi hatpa nupana nupi rape tauba molest tauba mahausa ne haina khandopa nupa singi mindset nara aduma wangna lerambase but last 3 years since 2018 I'm trying my best with all my dedicated hand of the Manipur State Women Commission along with the law enforcing body police department aduna ngasi register tawraba akhoi gi commission gi thong da laklaba mi sing du dadi akhoi soidana maki justice pi khre haibase akhoi gi ak pathaja jabane pidana thokiba yaukide aduga loina akhoi na paiba yadaba area akhoi competent authority da thagatsai adudagi police mayam amagi full cooperation fangjabanina aikhoina thabak tawbada asuki matik laina nupi singchigi justice recommendation tawbada yangna chatlena ai paudam jabatai adu asuk yamna di tawragasu law na phaniamna kap tawna ba phonaraba law enforcing body mayamna su phajana cooperation piragasu aikhoida yaroida ba pot ama khakti maruda ta aduna leire akoi gi society da sing da oigera tam da oigera tam ching tam ani maksida aikoi gi chatnabi haiba makak social customary law and social system haiba pot ani khaksina aikoi gi nupi da thokpa crime gi hengatna bagi khwaidagi chauba maram makak oy phaniamna law pisano phaniamna makoi gi supporting legal mayam ama piragasu imung manung du dadi nasagi nupa sangsigi mindset sidi still not change society na piba village authority na piba lekai na piba halaman na piba adugumba social system adudagi hendoktana aikhoigi education system sida yauriba curriculum amadi syllabus na piriba aikhoida tambiriba machak mayam sina Manipur da crime against the women asumak thoktana leibagi achauba maram amane haibase research finding oil aduna di aikhoina kari tawbatai satna daba matanga chanadraba lo customary law khara amadi social system kharadi akhoi tangai fadana remove toba machange singda su tamda su ngasi phauda yengbiyo single lam asuk saugraba 41% of the population leiriba Manipur gi single lam dam sida satnariba nupi da thamiba athingba mayam se angta yengbiyo they treat the woman just like a slave more or less belly the sodumangai mapuga manaiga gi system da aikoi se social system na educate tawdana leire mapuroi bagi seba tawna ba luhongba adagi maku manem punamaktugi leiriba imungdugi seba tawna na ba nahapu thaba adugumba slavery system amada mapu manai gi system da nupa nupi se ngasi aikoi gi society da leire aduna ne mapuga manai ga kanana ngame mapuna ngame mapuna haibado tawdraga di sai jaba dum tare Masidani crime against the women Toleba. Say Zari Mayama, physical assault Mayama Pangiba, physical assault Tagi Heladan, Hato Pidiba Mayama say, only this crux of the matter, Sigi, Sidapotsi lady. Adudi, legal of Hanyam support Toragasu, legal si Nataba, Imum Manungi, Nutigi Oiba Togokta, Nupado Nanupido, Mahaki Makada Leba Manaya, Maguna, Luina Rabanina, Mahooks Hanamado, Adumak. Violence, the Tatan Tokani, Adugi Mataka, is so a same with the Pibirakba, Nupa and Nupi and Isigi Marakta, Nupi Hibasidi physically, Sonba Kangune. Adudi Mapu in Ibamana, physically su Masakale, Aduga, system the Sumana Mapu in a Ledavanina, how the husbands and how's the male counterpart treat their women. Mama Oigera, Machan Oigera, Magi Nupi Oigera. Here, violence against the women say not only the husband and the wife. She da mabung na machanda tawbasu, adu dagi makupok na mamong nupida tawbasu, manem pok na mamong nupida tawbasu. All are includes in the violence against the woman. Adu bo high riba society gitsan na pathap sige manong da layraga di ako'y na kaidong dasu violence against the woman. Crime against the woman, pura control the wife say, oi to oi have say, English hygienic. And a massive oi to one haitar body cario, I quite a kaido with tie. Society is the lady, but social system and customary laws. Say, Zakaya like Haktaki Chana than a lava since here. Amtang a quay upon Bakung Tanga, Hongdok Minabamato. Masi Hongdok put a quick Karijangi, quite the Gichauba, a handba. Darkar oiba criteria se education the yeng bi hoje apik padagina achauba bhaugi education gi curriculum adagi makoi gi syllabus ante yeng bi ho piriba wari macha piriba drama piriba isai lyrics khudi makte yengo nupi se kari haina singtha ge na to laban na nai ne cheba gi damak loksan bi ho Isai the Sodungare, sighting the Sodungare, cinema drama the Sodungare, numbers of the unwanted. Maya Mama Akoigi, society's literature, the Taduna lady, Madugi Lyric to Bo Aquina, Hanjan Pop Padagitama Abanina, Angang Nupa Ogera, Nupi Ogera, Madugi mindset, Sida, Sangri Basikaino, Nupi have a say inferior quality, they have to control, they have to be live like a slave. Masimag very unfortunate thing. Another Masibu on top of Matamda with legal action sina akan bat yadrabadi akoy si tawgani haibapot ama chawna yawri banina madugi posi second option da leraga first priority se kari oina lahan janinge na haiba matamda ya I haki mot oina as a panelist social mindset of the male counterparts. Social mindset of the elders and the mindset of the critics, lyrics, the drama cinema ibiriba sing chida hana kajitang masigi ahong basila adi yam na tuna mag akoigi nupiga nupaga gi chatminabagi khongma na ba equal kaino si lakpada quite a sound of a thing pangadra haibase a kanjaban adunane aina legal awareness to wagi mahuta sense gender sensitization haiba program se masi oina ai chahi chu patawjabani karigino imung amada nupa nupi laiba matamda mama mapaduna macha ama nupi ga nupa ga se yokpa matamda nupi du bun inferior oina yol pirakpa nupa du na hena abab kaino da thangat le harga yolpa matam sida mabung na machanda laidiba anigi adagi machimanaugi mapa machagi lainariba mariduda nupi se inferior ni haina tahanbagi overall view amakak chatpase thingna bu honagi hai targadi aikoigi national wide oina zathajarikliba ngasigi gender sensitization aba program se imung laikai khudimakta imung khudimakta district khudimakta pakna sanna tawbagi mathau tai haibase ai mayam da address tawjaninge nupa nupi khaida begi chawyok nayok Tamiba education da nupa nupi women oriented oiba nataba male oriented oiba nataba ani si equally samina nabaya form da iba makalgi literature mayamama aikoi da laklaba adu oiragadi khara khikti aikoi gi samaj sida women gi awa nangiba punamakse hantarakani haibase ai mayamda appeal tawjaninge aduga iroina na Indian Constitution na pibiriba amadi Manipur Assembly Act na pibiriba ek mayam sina mahaku phairaga mindset si honga aba matam tata aikhoigi crime against the women se kap tawbada achawba mateng oigani haibase ai mayamda thamjage aduga loina na aikhoigi society sida Manipur society sida child marriage haiba potse makti leite angang waringai da asongi mainland India da tauriba sigumna sahi mari manga da luhongbi ba khotbi ba adu gumbadi oina di leite Manipur society da whereas khwaidagi chawna leiriba ama khati karino early at marriage early age at marriage nongna luhongbagi channebi se Manipur society da lisang na leiramne hanadi aigi profession oza oina leijaring matam dadi leipak san ba thungna chatpa ngamamdabanina masin yamna henna khangjalu bangamde hojikti kachin koya singna thungna chalaklabanina masida thuglei mayam mayam se karino early marriage nupa macha nupi macha singsi sahi 30 surakpadagi rural area amadi chingi area dadi ayamban makloi luhongnare masimak yamna chawba achawba impact negative impact on kainone society ne masina maram oiraga ngasi crime against the women thoklakna bagi achawba maram ama ka oy gyan yaudriba masa chawbagi mapung phadriba mapung marei phadriba gyan suna leitriba angang ani duna luhonga poklakpa macha china ma dongna dum gyan yaudaba dum oirakane aduna di akoina preventive measure oina ai handak shembadasu ai masi yaujagrabani gender policy semba matamdasu child marriage haina India gi mafam khudimakta thingi basigi natabida akoida early marriage se akoigi sarkar na su 18 years for the girls 21 years for the male haina leiriba potse masibo maintain tawba matamda akoi khara kiti safane na khalle hauji changba chingi area mayamda angang pikhraba mayam ama angang duna macha angang chelaga leibase pak asana leire entire part of the Manipur. Not only the chingi area kaktana sade aina harise rural area da ne entire rural area da sanga yangjan biyo 15-16 year old makoi luhongna na bagi chen na bagi loina mak tongna da na leiramme akoina Manipur society me yengba matamda urban Manipur khatang yengba yaroi urban Manipur da lari 10% of the total population khatang oigane maximum population se akoi rural amasung hilly area da lairi ba sing sidagi thoglak pa negative impact se akoi gi state sida yamna chawna amakhak lae ana root causes mayam ama thido uba matamda aina ai point yamna di laikre ai yam chahi ma makhai changna masi research team thamjaraga akoi masi yam kupna naina jabane masigi nainarak pasigi findings yamna laikre adubu yamna pauna yengba miyengda aina ngasigi platform asida haijening base customary law akoi kharadi thugaiba machange not only social khakta natabada politically economically akoi gi customary law khara chingi nupi mayam ama decision making body da yahondaba masagi land right pidaba achi achauba impact amane kainoge negative impact amane ngasi society da aduna di makhoi se kamdong na pihangadi makhoi bu karamna motivate tawgani makhoi bu karamna akoina aware tawgani haibase akhoi ngasi muscle sagal loina na akhoi khanmina na bagi tanja do akhoi longmina se aduga social system da leiriba masidi chingdam ani makpullaga social customary law haibasiga social system ga kari khenage haibasisu kitang kupna yangjan biu customary law di chana daba yadaba pot to customary law ne system sina khara theidok theijin diya ba aduna ne like su haibasingna social system se na theiraga manam pamjaba mana phagadaba mungda chatpanga ma ise for example isamaksu social system amada nupi amo ena nang adu tawgadabani tawroidabani do's and the don'ts mayam ama layeba madudagi na thaira aga aina aran ba tawda ba taragadi kari dawbagi aina apam ba pot tawba yaroi dori bano haibase wakhalon se education na khoida mangala ma pilakane aduna ni nupi kaya mana hujik se women activists oina thoklaktana mayangi seba tongmina bangamdana mayangi warum thokminar pangami se aduna social customary law haragadi madu kalaga chatpa yade kalaga chatpa matamda nahak lamdam dugi natraga leiriba furup tugi kaino ma chagane samajagi inthokpiba kaino dagi khul dagi tanthokpiba aduguma mayam amachu lakpa yayeba aduidi officially karamba customary law se akhoi remove tawba yai against the women the lady customary law sing se akhoi remove tawba yagadage kai ba se law da semdorpa ma mathau tai adagi akhoi gi apunba pressurize torpa ma mathau tai adu basi kanana tawgodabano ai gi furup sina taw horakadabani maduda akhoi common oina leiriba state ki machinery miyamna madagi achum aran khallaga madu tongsin miraraga apunba kholau ama laga gadabani haibase ai mayam da address tawjaninge customary law thugaiba araiba nate social system thugaiba di isa isa gi capability adagi isa isa gi personality da laigani haina ai khanje karigi afaba amadi achumba ama purakpada argumentative oiba aduga loinana khara risk factor khara bear to haibase thauna se leiragadi nupi singna social system bu phattaba social system thugai bangam social customary law thugai bangam gani ba adu natadana hanagi chakhumda leisalaga aina poiba aigi punsi se only for my family only for my children haina khandana leiba taragadi nupi singna adumak china kholse crime against the women gi china kholse adumak khangdana leigane ba aduna nupi singna thongna phana dedication ga loinana mayangi marakta isage risk samaga loinana thopirak pasu tangai phade masigi customary law singje thugaina big damakta amadi social system se ahungu purakna big damakta aigi damakta kanagumba nupa matana su nangi right phangna nabadi insil lagloi karigino haibada nupina masagi rightful oiba platform amada tholakhibada mayeng tahori bese kanano nupa ne hena khanjayeba nupa singchina makhoi ki comfort zone do adu dagi na thaira ani haibagi akiba nungai taba adu pamdabadagi nupa mayamna masigi se akhoi gi damakta di honabira oi adubu aikoina demand tawra aba matam dadi soidun maki mokhoi su yarakani haibagi gesture ama adudi akhoi ngasi national wide oina uba phangabane manipur da su aduna ngasi library ba aigi ichini naw sing mayam punamangna ngasi tongan area dagi pibira kadauba address to bira kadau mayam che punna phaminare haraga apunba resolution ama handaki gender policy sembagi loisilakpagi tanja lae masaisida insert tahobang amna bohana minasi haibaga loinana ai mayam dagi bi dialogue zage thank you.
Well, what do I say? I mean, this is the most difficult task of a moderator. The time slot given to the speaker is 10 minutes, but we all know that our honorable chairperson have used more than 10 minutes in her presentation, but I don't have the heart to stop her because she's so focused. She's so carried away with her conviction and presentation, so I simply don't have the heart. And I really wish that all of you are in my place. Anyway, thank you, Madam Chairperson, for that very insightful presentation of yours, and the point that she would like to stress and she would like to make us listen to her is that we all need to change our social mindset, particularly the male counterparts. And it is with the help of education that women are now becoming more assertive, more aggressive, and more challenging. Anyway, thank you so much. Now we have the second speaker that we are going to have it today, this afternoon, is Srimati Aribam Noutuneshwari Devi from Manipur Judicial Service. Right now she is District and Session Judge Thoubal. Our Madam Judge is going to tell us, going to present a judicial perspective on violence against women in Manipur. I don't want to ask Madam Judge to limit your presentation within 10 minutes, but I will very highly appreciate if you could do it within 10 minutes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, moderator. Good evening, everybody. Time, as per program, time given to speak to me is only 10 minutes. I will make it shorten within time. So, broadly speaking, the crimes against women may be considered from the judicial perspective I am speaking. It may be considered under two categories. Crimes under the Indian Penal Code and the crimes under the special and the local laws and others. So, aduna, akoina, we might have heard the case of Nirbhaya case, which was happened in the year 2013. After that commission of the crime, our law has been amended. IPC has been amended, Chairperson has been amended. Earlier, crime against women, particularly rape, we used to say rape 375. Punishment is 376 IPC. Is totally sense. New laws has been amended after the Nirbhaya case, that was in the year 2013. For example, 376A IPC is punishment for causing death resulting in persistent vegetative state of victim. 376B IPC, sexual intercourse by husband upon his wife during separation. And the 376D is gang rape. In the gang rape, it is very serious one. And so, I would like to draw the provision where it contains as where a woman is raped by one or more persons constituting a group or acting in furtherance of a common intention, each of those persons shall be deemed to have committed the offense of rape and shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 20 years, but which may extend to life, which shall mean imprisonment for the remainder of that person's natural life and with fine. Before amendment of this, earlier it was only 375 rape, and when it happens gang rape, section 34 IPC is to be read with 376. Now, after amendment of the 376 IPC, rape has been defined in different categories. So, all of these 376D is very serious one. So, Masile in my judicial service as a judicial special trial Tokzehi Matamda, I would like to recall one discussion hour which happened in the ISTB while after pronouncement of vice judgment in the fast track court that Aina Sar Phanjoubam amtang attention draw dogzeningi. Why? Because I heard in that I have given punishment for life imprisonment to the men accused, life imprisonment till necessary death, and the other two persons who escorted the commission of rape while doing rape to the victim by the men they escorted. They were also involved in that crime by virtue of this provision of 376D. Aduda khoigi sar na mana lominaruba rape ti togdaba mi duda 20 years jail piba haibase. It is too hard. It is too harsh na amakak haibi hibasida aina khitang attention draw togjabe wani. Madudi, we judges are just interpreting the law enacted by the parliament. Akoina hai drug issue orasu, any crime orasu, mi hale, nupi amatarame, nupa amtarame, ko yore, bail pigre, trial taure, maralete, thadokre, drug ki mayam thadokre. Why? What is the reason for this? Court yorpo matanda, court ki trial court sidi, we are compelled to work in the duly established by law, procedure established by law that judges in worked away. aduna akhoina criminal trial ama torapa matamda khwaidigi maru obase punishable act IPC or any other laws plus criminal procedure law magi procedure how to proceed the case, and then the most important is Indian Evidence Act. If there is no evidence, aduna benefit of doubt will go automatically in favor of the accused. Aduna in criminal administrative system the judicial magistrate, the executive magistrate, as well as the police officers who are conducting the investigation, they are the frontline workers. They have to establish the case. If they have not investigated properly, and there shall be a loopholes and the lacunas. So like this, it happens in the trial case. Only I myself, joined in the year 1998 as a judicial magistrate. Actually, I landed in the legal bar in the year 1985. Aduna 42, about 37 years muki I experience that over Akoina criminal administrative system da khwaidigi maru obese kanano people sing na di tawre mi am phare hale tawre investigating officers singi khwaidigi maru oba tangkak se tawdaba matamda akoi su angang oiringa da magistrate first class oina grade 3 da leringa matamda di how to record a magistrate ki importance akoi khangamde adubo it is the foundation to be tried against accused ne aduna foundation sida turhaga di foundation phatraga di trial the success oiba ngamoy. Likewise in the investigation also police officers singna FIR karamna register tongni haibasu khangdaba yauri FIR toba matamda aduna FIR register to matamda recently in the Thobal case drug drug the 400 crores likewise adu senai adase ni haye. How to register a case, they met lacuna without, I don't know whether they have put that intentionally or knowingly or unknowingly, what is that, I don't know. But while registering an FIR se passed over matam the kari akoina sangi haibu, it must be first in point of time. It must be information responsible but not bad, gossip or hearsay. It must relate to the commission of a cognizable offense. It must be made to the officer in police station. It must be in writing or put into writing, if given orally and read over to the informant. There must be an informant. It must be signed by the informant. It must be entered in the police diary, daily diary. And in criminal case, the place of occurrence and the time of occurrence is very important. In civil case, cause of action is very important. If a suit is filed in civil case, if there is no cause of action, the case shall be dismissed. Likewise, in criminal case, if there is no place of occurrence and they mention wrongly, the whole case will go. Aduna maram oiduna, like unfortunately, ngasaigi asoba drug smuggler ama yamna mokhoibu dandi piba yabagi process torpa matamda commission of crime do moi spot mafam do da semam dadana place of occurrence scenes torokiba without giving valid lawful reasons aduna makhoi do irai na disaster akoina khudamoina hairabada court ki open court se it is a battlefield fighting against accused on the one side and for the state or victim on the other side. Defense already adubo akoina through prosecution and the defense ki torok matam sidai sida akoi gi prosecution gi di police ta hairaga rifleman amam pairaga leiba ngai, whereas in the defense side di AK-47 paire missile paire moi aduga kai am sophisticated oiba khulai paire aduna who will win. Let us imagine, please imagine. Adu agadi akhoi asobe se kari no criminal administrative system da akhoi na court na dandi pi na namthok kribe se kari gino akhoi judges singdi we cannot say in the media openly adubu by taking advantage of having speaking on this platform, it may be highlighted to the interior, to the rural areas in the public, it shall be so. I want to highlight for this. Aduna akoina kanaguma miyam sire ayakna tokjehibasi ngasai customary law panbirakpa matamda senapati da angang ama sigi murder after rape chahi mari da ngai angang ama madugi do customary law na loina santaire moi paisa khara pire adegi moi gi sandang haibra ok haibra moi konge raga halaman moi yamna khre madu phumjalle adubu madugi crime madugi phumjan badu da uhoba yamna thamoi sengba police officer amma mau da posting ta ba ASI am khangna lonna magi higher officer singda report torok padegi pokso gi case lokhat khidana ngasagi angang do exam tawre aduga madu dei do da lokhalaga case dei do da marale ba mi do dandi pire raga aina death sentence madu award to ki adubu death sentence di akoi special judge amasung session judge singna akoina death sentence period haini madugi execution gd it shall be subject to the confirmation by the high court under section 366 CRPC madu oibani na tawdabani adubu ay yam nungai ba paw mana ay na ngasi meeting gi damakta masida laksa matamda akoigi deputy member secretary Sadananda na paw haibire Senapati gi maduda labor victim do ma compensation partly phangedana ay tabade yam nungai aduna aigi matam su yam shorten oire nganga ga dipung anhum su loiroi adubu khudam oina sidei sida aina iseng jeng harabada nupi ama sire hairaga tare haireraga aina thoban da su mamang da tawjaba loirabani na madu akoina expose over ga su kaide magi dead body se decompose tore ma se beyond recognition ni postmortem torokpa matam da mahak se could not be ascertained due to decomposition adum ire adubu ma si dead body se mi ama siba matam da madu da proof tokdoi se kaina tokdoi no eyewitness aduga madu dei do da the circumstantial evidence aduga last in theory ohum si da dead proof se tokdoi ne adu dei da magi eyewitness amuk leitre aduga circumstantial evidence mayam se da khome last in theory da sagalakpa matam se dei se da evidence da hostile mayam oire adubu judges the people power amada under 165 of the Indian Evidence Act that judges may put questions to any person to any accused at any time whether it is relevant or irrelevant haiba am piriba masida aina karamna lokhasakige haiba matanda postmortem de recording leire recording se akhoina masi angtang madu akhoina computer da tawraga madu monitor tawraga madu yengaga madu utba matam se de accused se da aina masi asi khangbra hange masu pakhatpoi kari bo yeng matam si dei suda magi nungsinaba nupi amna mana hatkibani na mani hai aduga after he I don't know mana hai adubu judges ki mind da mana mani hana mana recognize to reba after thota ma deny to be wani ba mana tina aduna masigumba yang wai aduna aina masida social scientist mayam giam su lebiri binna judicial perspective tagi khitang haidok saraga akoina thengnajarapa judicial gi masigi ek sigi sum torpa trial torpa matam sidei sida victim oi hiba singdo sakhibagi sigibagi rep to bi hibagi di nongai tabadi ai phawi nupi amoina adubu mado siram da basu yaba thomdra su yaba crime matang oi basina aina kari khalli nupi singsina self realization self aware oiba ama masi su tawni khalle mana hojiki androgi case da masagi nupa siga mana sexual relation labor se 30-40 times later as per evidence aduraga di ai 6 months pregnant oire nupi ai amana ai nusiba nupa duga ai ga nusina begini haina ai amu anirak leminarasu makhata badadi makari yari ge adubu after 6 months adi lai lai sabi wina masa polo yada bina la e phataba thoe nupa thoe adu mayam thoe likewise gang rape ta thoki badusu nupa duga maga asikpa pamaga mafam da satlure mingonda akhoi khara tawbada dum tawre hauhradi haure hababu adubu asidei sida akhoina aduga pokso da angkhatang nupa da victim oigeda ba amthang panjarange in pokso da victim is neutral it may be female or masculine oibi adubu masidei sida yamna nungai ba paw amana akhoina honorable high court madras high court na haye akhoi sida ngasa angang sing adolescent matam sidei sida chen ba sungba thak topa ade early marriage oiba madudai du da makhoi si poksho gi victim oraga hoji su jail da mayam lei akhoi manipur samaj nupi sing sina siela di khara athapa da di nupa mayum yenga ga ina khullaga na ai misane yare haiba adu nupa mayum laira ramaga na lupa lamanga tara piu haiba ngamdraga na makhoi se lep to bire na kese thajan ba masigumagi sokpasena akhoi society da impact am lai nupa sing mara lejata ba su yam soi aduna Madras High Court ki aroi bada aina madugi kanu du quotation dum tak ai haijage Pokso Act not intended to penalize adolescents or teenagers in romantic relationships and high rape aduna our state amendment da akhoi na Pokso se akhoi Manipur di sien ba song ba se socially recognized owi aduna madudai du da provision masam hapsalaga law amendment of darkar oi aduga akhoi drug ta mayam phara ga ko na lai thadu I wai police na torokpa matamda yang ware reward pi de khotan tori se ahu ba lai ba poto mengkhatna bagi da makta NDPS act su law amendment of darkar oi ha ba se thamjara ga thank you moderator thank you sir
yam thagachari koi madam judge aigumba yam layman oiba amadadi madam judge na ngasi PB gi do hen tajaning mani I would have loved to listen more because koi madam judge na mana case sama paikhala kum tamda criminal case or case relating to violence against women paikhala kum tamda thengnari ba challenges I be the investigative officer na fajana FIR electragadi chalaktragadi case su phanyam medile soibiya bagi loopholes lacunas mayam amlaibudu akhoi di tai we have heard about it but today we have heard it from the horse mouth aduna yam ne tajaning amani madam but for want of time maybe some other occasion some other platform thank you akhoi ahum subai speaker sina I would like to request Srimati Dr. Priyadarshini Gangte, Assistant Professor, SK Women's College, Nambol, and she's going to tell us, I hope she's here, she's going to speak on ground scenario of violence against women in Manipur. Ground scenario. Let us see how grounded is her ground scenario. Please. My request of 10 minutes still stands.
Thank you, sir. Let me use my mother tongue. Ngasigi ahanba magtada ngasigi program asigi mitunglen oibirba madam loina na ngasigi session sigi chair lobirba aigisu guru oibirba Oza Rajan Professor Rajan aduga all the dignitaries on the dais aduga mayam lanet delegates sing ay ikok nonjari tasingbadi aina nganga do punamakti ma'am na loi thambigare ko aduisu khatang ai share tau janamge ihana hana ngasigi aina ngangdringai da let me thank Madam Binota ma'am na akanba yamna kano lobiraga ngasi women policy puthokpasi akoina women policy and budget semona mamang dege akoina hairaga lakpani adu hantak si is under process haibetare ko ma'am thank you so much aduga loina na akoigi madam Noutuneshwari su ani suboina thanks tawjage maramdi yamna landmark oiba ahum ma'am gi matamda lois kano tawbigire masi yam thagat sei idi hujiksi ising singna aigido ground scenario of crime against women haiba matamsda tasingbadi ma'am kano na akhoi chairperson na loi ayambadi haibigire adu kano ni aina adudagi khatang hapsanjaraga tasingbadi akhoigi Manipur gi apunbada yeng pakanda ayamba akhoina sigi value da khunda leitariba sigi oina ayamba hek tawe aduga Manipur yang pakanda Manipur da different communities ngasai mem na sukra panbirame asi sida lumsallaga haidi Manipur saukhat pa haibasi no one can no community silent to bayaroi bako atuna loyeng pakanda akhoi gi si sum aina sum yeng ba kanda akhoi gi di ho hoi Manipur da di akhoi gi 2005 ki Property Act se pass tawre oiraga su adui du sabchana madu thabak oina onthokna bagi thabak se lokhatri madu ahan ba haizage huziki oina ingjaba kanda ko hoi adu budi khudak ta fortnightly change so budi yaroi ani subada akhoi chingmi singi customary law se it appears ko mana portrayal of just egalitarian form of society oina protect tawraga su when it comes to women asidi pura nupi gi discriminate, it's very discriminatory ko asi masi semdok tege di yaroi ko singmi gi sinau sing yawi ba mayam sina masi kharadi tawi dabadi yadena khanjai particularly from men folk nupi sing su akoi meite gi society da sungai pangan society da sungai kana society oisunu nupa gi dictum da sat ko society ni mem na sungai habirame ani mamangi wangang loi ani mak na su apet khara dak thoma haiba sulerami khatang slightly khelaga ma haiba sulai ko adu sigise tawdrigedi yaroina haizaningi aduga ground scenario haina pibi banina akhoi gi religion singse prithvi da lairiba akhoi drama gi kano singsi loina mang nupi singsi loina ma empowerment gi potse yawe na ai haizaningi adubo akhoi da practice tawriba akhoi singsna ko adum kari lana seasonaraga for example yamna mayek sing ba ma haizage ko meitei lai harauba matamda moina kanogi akhoi kano philosophy university pa mama kari kai toropasda akhoi kari amalai bane ko portion ama kari nga pharai nangna patta salubudo haibadu da ko nganoi ga ngamugi wafam silai asigi philosophies da sex education se yaubra na khali aduda moina maibina hayeko nangna phari banga do matang mafam sadaragadi pharoi haibado aduni ko sex education si masi phajana lai akhoi gi ayamba nupana ising sing habada nupa sangna su mind to biroi na khanjei patriarchal form of society sini asina root cause ni akhoi gi loin kano oibase thaine mamangai da ko maria mais na hairameba akhoi nupi ge nupa ga se samana me adubo a time came when women had been subordinated start to pa haibatare ko adu dagi dum la ga ngasi se sumaina oiba haibatare adu akoina sigi kanoda hairagadi memna di kanogi violence against women gi matang si yam sugaina habigre adu ai katang supplement to baina katang ai haizage akoina sidako hoji mayamna hoji nahangi 2013 gi sex ratio du yang bakanda nupali singma gi manungda nupi se satet ka yang khai tari khaktane ba asida dum ta e akoi gi nupi se ka yam na haidi moina kari angang puknung da len nga da hatok pi bani khangde amani khangde asmain tawroga ko adigi atai tai su ngasai gi sibana ba ngasai gi rep adi manu sinara hatpa adigi ding lebak si kano oi bani na hana conflict oi rubani na hojik su kana gomba kharana ko from human rights perspective yamna conflict se still sathari na haibasu ui ko kana human rights ki perspective tagi ado hoi from different angle tagi ko yeng kanda adugi kanoda yeng bataraga di yamna kano se hojiki violence against women si maroina akoi rape kumba molest kumba hana meitei gida akoi gi meitei gi adigidi kanogi da khara dileram gani ko masi akoi na report taw da baine ba haiti akoi nupi singse nupana adum tawning tawsunu noma oza danebi ga akoi program da phamine likon sana bada akoi adu haye ko adu da haidok da bu sukunga yam lerang gani na even I also experience ko sumba silai ko akoi haidok da bani unreported oi begini ko akoi na loin mag report tawsi mem na haibiram badu ngasi di loin mag phamine oza loi sure ngasi phami singsi loi phamimne asidana horen jo question hangbi gani na I khanjai asina kanogista violence against women sida masita seng ba khoi gi public ki minans haiba tare ko health ni asida yamna khatang nei na ke physical ko psychological economical masida sum phambi ri besing se aina side sum yeng jaraga yamna detail oina haijidiraga su mayamna I khanbi ga ne na khalle khara adum khangbi da ne na ai khanjei aduna sida ko akhoi matam matangi oina chume implementing kanoda lak pakan da di implementation si thabak oina hek lak pakan da yade ko hek ta yade adubo akhoi gi ne tauke heradi political will ama laibiraga ko yane ba every stakeholders akhoi na su hoi sina government na tawba ya ba matang hairi ko mem hina su mem na su ngasai ki kanu lobi re idana capital punishment gum lobi re akhoi mem na su mem ngasi chairperson na su despite restraint and constraint women policy system na ba ko kanna hone bi re ko madam na su sumai tong na akhoi na nupa nupi sokhat han ba hibe se akhoi nupi nga ta na khuru ga su yaroi ba we need haidi society gi tangkhai mo oiriba nupa singi mateng yaudane de sunya yaroi ko semadi aduga akhoi gi kai kai no nupa sing da nupi singi hak adi am lai re hairaga akhoi gi hak tung hak de season abiyar ba we cannot kareba akhoi hanagi satlaram ba kari kai de su ekta thadok perba akhoi nupa nupi understand to minaraga animal se equal kanone haibe gi pot se biological kari hasra gender gi pot sigi kari hasra khatang nupa ga nupi ga khatang khene haibe gi wani adubu kano da di ko nupi ni hena strong oi bane ko yam strong oi bane ko nupi sing si mi gi asomda research ko New York ki adigi atopa Germany gi kano da nupi sing ne hena nupa di gi angko khotpa he moi gi space upi da bagi ba space upi da bagi ni aduna sumba si yam leire yang awang badang na gare akoi na akupa gi da nahan do mayang langjing aso ba haibra adu kano masale akoi se salagane mi singdo kharasu sak amna ko oire ko as asinangang se ai gi budi kharathun loisan gare ko isum yeng kan da sak lamna re kano na ngang bodo ko as pangangang ine na haire ba adu bi sing no women empowerment du kai da lak trino nu pa gi kano du dum satam ne badum si akoi na khatang akoi patience da ka tai ko adu kano gi da makhal mathen budi yam laigre adi akhoi BPL da laiba adi arms ki ko conflict maruina adu gi setback ni minus chi noin la ise rape kumba molest kumba mathang sa thare isi kari gi no khoi se hana sida army me am lairame ko khoi da si haira ga di kana taning da busi ya khoi di fact to di akhoi na right perspective ki pota pothorok pani na adi ru course to adu ne ba hana army sing lairame even akhoi bo ko ikai na roi si ko no yot ki khongrau mam tuo na haiba je ki army lenge da an mai hai ko khoi da an mai sum tawra ga lakhre adu de gi khoi underground akhoi ki lebak ningba akhoi underground na so munupi strap tawe ko adi mathang da mo common people sing na hore aga husik se mathang ko mane masan magi on ko real daughter ngasai mem no so habit mathang lakhre ba mayam se mathang ko sigi pot se dum lae leita lai bu so amani adubo punamang se ko khoina kai gumba ma ahungba ama oiningai gi sti parenting siam darka tai perfect mother darka tai madam hoisu masana ai samak smain tawi haibugumna akoi mama khuding sina ne perfect oibiraba nupi singsina to mangam basi yangam bane ko si anuna sigi example loina ekta hairasi ai su matam sangbagi korokado ba male amo hara kadong male PRIC kya le raga su masigi se aina ne moi elected kano sing se loina mak sensitization se ai angtang moi pulap sing se kauraga ai tahun janinge ko okay I noted adu ai suggestion ko asmaina amani khatang sum pijaram ge akoi sex education se adum syllabus da curriculum da text da aduga akoi gi ngasai memna haibi bugumna lila drama da adigi khabar da kaida in different forms of media da ko masi phajana kanoi biba aduga sumain gi sensitization program se mapam khuding da side impal khaktang na taba rural masses da ko toina tawiba ma aidi sange nei hajaningi aduga akhoi myam ne pulap work to minaba ko yam work to minaba aidi collective effort ko loina ma ngasi gi di sure ko ngasi si ayam sure ngasi si asmaina na ngasi gi stigi bo henga da halaga ai to hunjaningi ai si hairaga adum loidringai da amana punishment se punishment pi dri di loine ba law enforcing kano sing sina su sap chana ko mem na sai gi ama tabi rak pani na hosi khitang di handa bane ko khara handa bane hoi reported as well as adugi logi potuni hojik tawbasi khar ki 100 di ka yani angang school karing ai da para phadraga ojana ka sumrang mak ta khoi da phui da na ko adugumna tawbugumna ko angtang punishment city tawdabadi yaroi ba si hajaraga ai dum loisinjarage. Thank you.
Thank you. Yam thagachari Dr. Priyadarshini Gangte. Adongi nahaki narratives very interesting. Aduga kogi Dr. Gangte na si thamiba overall magi submission de kogi society kogi social system je patriarchal loiba dunang sagi root cause of violence against women na ana hiding ba. She would like to submit that. And along with that, Dr. kogi Gangte na makata na hiding ibasi kogi school curriculum da sex education should be a part and parcel of school curriculum. Madhude I fully endorse. And I just would like to add to what Dr. Gangte has said, that over and above sex education, this gender education should be given. You know, there is a difference between sex education and gender education. Alishika Piragadi, I'm a suggestion. Aduga Magi Arubada, Manathamzadisi, any case relating to or any incidents relating to violence against women, punishment is a must. There again, I endorse her viewpoint with submission. Now, Marishubai speaker, well, first three speakers happens to be our respected women, women activists, women judges, and women teachers. We all have heard about how they look at this issue, I mean, this violence against women. Now, let us also see how our male counterparts have got to say about this issue of violence against women. So the first male person that I would like to call upon to present his paper is Sri T.S. Vikramjit Singh of Manipur Police Service, right now Superintendent of Police, Technopol District, Manipur. Sir, please take your time, and yes, again 10 minutes if it is possible. Otherwise, I will not say anything, sir, because I am scared of police. Take your time, sir.
Thank you, sir. And Bamaktada, the function and Sigi, Chief Guest Function Land Election Beriba, Madam Binota Devi, Chairperson, Manipur State Women Commission, Bu Kaikam Novuchari, Matanga, Kogi, Dice the Pamberiba, Dignitary Singh, Madam Noutuneshwari, District and Session Judge Tawal, and the Gi, Dice the Pamberiba, at a Dignitary Singh, Mang the Election Beriba, Guest Miam, Mediagi Person Singh, Punam Kusuri Kaikam Novuchari. Ngasigi session violence against women. Masigi matang dang on the PB topic si prevailing issue of trafficking of women in Manipur. Haibisini. Just coming to this topic. Sigi just topic sigi direct point the lactring aida. Ngasigi tasengna crime against or violence against women. Masigi stay sentence saman dang panjaramge. Aikoina nisage women's problem solution whatever women ki khanaba kan aikoina always aina hygienic body every society kudimakta aikoi leiba yum si society sigi any leiba society ji segment amani aikoi na duni society ki any sense afaba oro phatabu oro masi sense tawbada pi asu sauro su aigi mung chigi asoba role ama yauri haibesi masima kawidaba aduga ngasagi aigi imung sidasu chapchana women male part woman part loina lady aduna aina aigi ichanupi sing educate tawbada aigi ichanupa sing da su chamana na madugi education je pibam tai maramdi nupi sing jida su whatever noigi matakta crime natraga nang yaning daba crime asigi horufam je kai no haiba kanda ahan bada आइगी willingness to gi against the kayuma ma thabuk torpa masida gi ni kitang horokpa moi masida crime oibra oidabra haibdo aduna aigi sanupi sing sida soi ai si nangi yada bagi nangi will gi ma kayuma thaba ma jatharaga di madu tolerate tawdaba tare ahan bada aigi parents sing ai guardian sing or teacher school doraga di masida karino haibadu share tawba just like aigi icha sing da su icha nupa sing da ju nangi laiba ima adagi nangi nachi nasan laiba sing che respect tawba masi aigi icha nupa sing se tambi ba che yam ma tok tai aduna imung khudimang na masigi part sing asi role sing asi loina lauraga di crime against women che kharma khai di control tawba da laigani haibisi ai thamjaningi. Now coming to the point of trafficking, prevailing issue of trafficking of women in Manipur gi trafficking, women trafficking matangda lakchage. Tasengna trafficking of women, human trafficking haibasi karino haibasi koyongtang khangminaba ma darkar lei. Human trafficking any nupa bu oiro natraga nupi bu oiro any person ama ikoina magi against the will or masi phaba punbani khangde natraga thembani khangde nang paisa yam pini hane thembani khangde smai moi them toroga karima mafam amada natraga karimba jagam da poraga natraga hoiba magi will gi against kaima phattaba thabak khara sijinaba masini men koina yengadoji phattaba thabak tudi makhan gi oibe ai slavery gi oibe ai adagi nupi sing organa sexual exploitation gi prostitution gi sumaina sigi mayam sima aduna masida su aina ngasa hajab do ai against the will kaima thaba ma tawdori bra haibase masini yamna akhona khangjenmina ba darkar le aduna nupi sing chami chang thawba ma darkar le ai will gi against kayuma la ga di masi krai bu phari bano phatabano haibase masi hana khandaga dawni aduna masi ga ham he khongtang je tawriba thabak se ai will gi against natabra haibasima masina all crime sigi horokpham chi toi masi phajana khantanaraga de kona crime ching chi early stage ta kitang prevention ngamgani because prevention is always better than cure prevention chin hena adagi yo akhoi gi human trafficking gi matang chida amuk yamna lurei be kaino sina human trafficking chi detection chi yamna wa ba kaino ni detection chi yamna lui detection chi akuna as a law enforcing agency detect tawbase once detect tawraga de madugi on law course mayam do the well set loina idana leirabnina madugi part of investigation adu thoidong hena lubo oide in comparison to detection karigino haiba kan ngasai gi human trafficking ida koina thengna reisi ngasai gi haurokpham de amana koina karina oiba thengna ge the poverty yamna lairaba chaningai thaningai leitaba magi day to day gi needs mayam phangtaba masida kanaguma kharanang yamna phaba job ama pibini nang paisa yamna phangni thamna nang asi lising kun phangani kunthra phangani nang asuma thaba ma toroga di nang imung thakpa de yamna ngamgani haina sumaina masi moi them tawbiraga mafam amada puraknaba masini he koina thengai biji aduna ngasagi adagi mo koina aigi context ta kitang amung lakpa kanda some case study matam jiten mane case study macha amani tangchu ai thengna jarang kanu torongge Manipur gi oina ai leiba ekoi gi Tenopal district ki More town si yam vulnerable oi because of the Myanmar ga thangnaba ekoi gi border town oibanina aikoina recent years sing te thengnari si ekoi gi Indian citizen si khakta natana Nepal degi nupi mayam so koi trafficking gi keno si yamna thengnari adu aikoina thengnaba kanda masini hai ba ngasai mi masa sing da di moi da hai ra pu bi rei se yamna phaba makhan gi thaba ma aidi moi them tawbiraga nang ek yauraga di nang paisa su phangdoi ni simai tawdoi ni nang imung do nang wari ba sing do ngasi dei di pungko ko do ni kaina simaina adu yam lurbe scenario si yengji once border de cross tawra matung dadi my whole either Nepali citizen or Indian citizen or my whole documents sing asai recruitment recruiter sing loi loksan grani then after that ngasai my destination am si yaura kan dadi my fake documents mayama passport mayama aide mana sakado idu kaidano whether Singapore chatpe China chatpe Dubai adagi Southeast Asia gi lamkara sumbase destination sing khara common oi hai ba sakado mafam sing dugi matungina convenient oi ba magi passport karamba makhan gi passport chaga di mangona convenient oi ni hai ba dugi chatpa khijing khanba adu kariba ngasai mana khalou dibse chatle यारे आदे चक्रे पैसा जी फंगसनु फंग मतुंगदा कमायना मासी अखोइना चलिबा थबक तौरिबसिंगसे अखोइसि मतम पुनम मदुदा लैग्रगे हाइबे केनो सुनते पैसा दो मारा अहम लेदुसु पैसा दो मा तानिंगमगनी तालगा मु मा मयुमदा हनिंगमगनी लैरिबा इन फंगजरिबा तालिबा पैसा सिंग युमने शेयर तौरगा नुंगाइबा लाइफस्टाइल अमा लेबा सिखक्तनि पामिसि मैमना अदु ngasai man once border si land gra matung dadi magi laibe Indian passport oiro Indian documents oiro loi loksan birgani atopa makal gi document passport sara pi gragani adu di ngasai man kari ma mafam sida ma khudong thiba ma tare ai tho ena selake na khalaga su international border amade land bai di document yaw draga di yabanate aduna kayumba ma je khudong thiba ma taraga su ma je halakna bu upai se leitre masin yam lai khoina section ga daba kano si aduna masai sida ai khoina ngasai ai na hajabado crime si detection sini hena khari hena luina aduna detection gi mapa sida di ngasai gi masidi common effort ama change akoi police khaktana ngamdaba aduna masida di akoi NGO singi women related NGO singi thaudang yamna chauna lai NGO sing sina adu mamang ye khoina le kano de thengna gi besu sumaina pau pibi rakpadagi akoi rescue to giba instance mayam ama lai gre matam chana border si cross tawdringai de rescue to giba adu phajana akoi gi madu NGO singa tied up toroga अखोई सोशल वेलफेयर डिपार्टमेंट लेनैब डिपार्टमेंट सिंग अदगी अखोई वुमेन कमीशन लेरी मैम से पुनः डील तौमिनरगा अखोई मैम प्रॉब्लम मैम सॉल्व तौगिबा so many instance मैम अमसु लेग्रे मछि मतकता अखोइना ngasai detection je sungam gamdaba part ama अखोई gi thanan already crime je thokra matungda kona khangakpa ado ai scenario amtanga ai मैम de sum share tawjarumge telba matam sida ngasai karigumba ngasai human trafficking is like khoi yam warisi traffickers si magi near and dear ones maga khangna chanaba near and dear ones magi relatives magi karolai kai gi mi mana diam thajana tawjaruba machina hairaga di kesu laloida chumnida mana phaiye di pharmani kesu aina second thora ma mana muk masida mu scrutiny tawdana topada mu hangdana kotna tawrudrasu yarni haiba sumba makal gi mi china traffickers or pase masida ne khoi detection yamna wabase alarm sign signal am ta phangaroi already traffic tawgra matungda akhoina khangak pasi karima kanda asomda ada problem lera kanda international border cross tawgra matungda manga sai mangona promise tawriba job sing du ona taina ba job ama de land tawraba adi mangona promise tawriba handsome amount tu phangaktraba adi job tu na tayonaraba masikanda alarm signal silai alarm signal se lagpa kanda di they have already crossed the international border cross tawre adi communication maduda investigation rescue so much difficult so many difficulty mayam thengnai adu some instance khara dadi luckily insagi khoina hona jabadagi luckily rescue tawba haigadra moi sing si amuk hana magi imungda halakpa ngamba instance adum thengnai adubu ngasai mana lirakpa wari singdudagi mana ngasai mana somehow mana nanthorokpa mabudi yamna lucky oigre nanthokta ma mai parents singa amona reunite tawgre adubu haiba mafam singduda mana masak su khangdaba maming su khangdaba midi sum khara di lehori haibase adagi mana khangiba mamingduna exact magi asengba maming mathadu particular oirabra haibasunataba karigino haiba kanda haiba mi itself su once cross tawra kanda di magi ngasai leiba somna kangi yumda leijariba ai lamchomda leijariba masak maming karimam se loina magi particular kano singje loina consult tawraneba magi once over kanda mai maming ama particular ma tongan ma pirakhrani aduna kai mami ma mangkhre na khoina thiraga su magi ma sidi pura dark ta leigraneba suma mi ma sigi leibak sida noida changak prain hangro su khangaroi aduna detection chi yamna waba sumaina aduna ai khoina leiriba kaino singsi CSOs NGOs sing yamna closely monitor tawba ma changi aduga ai khoina thengnabda ai khogi leiriba international border nakpada leiba village sing sida sumaina ngasai recruiter sing china moithem tawraga recruit tawbiba kaino si instance khara su ma ai khoi thengnai aduna ain su khanjai sigumba kind of sensitization programs kaino sing si some ai khoi madam chairperson da soi request tawjage khara ngamatu certain extent ko ai khoi gi laiba far flung village area sing da su khaitang khoi gi sensitization program oina khara sinbi bida mogi lairiba women sing sigida मोइगी तसेंगना मोइगी राइट से करीनो मोइगी लीगल राइट से करीनो रिमेडी ने करीनो हाइबसी खंगबगी चांग से मैडम याम वाली मसी अहानबद मसी हाना खंगन मसी याम दरकार लई क्राइम अगेंस्ट वुमेन जे तेंगे हारगदी करीगनो है साइ अखोना टॉलरेट तौबजे सुमाइनगिबना आइंगोंद तौबिरिसि मसी क्राइम निको हाइबदो खंद्रगदी ngasai mangonda crime ama chathabire sima se aware sungoi oiraroeba whatever ngasai madam da panbiriba customary law sing customary sanimi sing mayam su laigibna in every custom khudimaki loin laigibnina kaima crime ama nupi sida chathabiraga su mana masi crime ni haibasi aini isana khangjedragadi who will ring the alarm bell che kanana khinga duino se aduga lucky oiba khara khaktane ba khoina CSO sing na thengna dana kaima luckily thengna hodana ko suma crime ama yam silently mangonda adum hanjanan chathabi leire kaina tor khoina save toba ngami aduna crime against women thi masi thena na bai damuk tadi aina han ba pandamoina masi gi legal awareness ya khoina ngamba makhai ko far flung area sing village area sing yamna masi yamna darkar lei aduna madam saigi tela su ten ma matam kano sida aina haiba pon kharsi angtang thamjage aduga saigi trafficking gi kano sida aina joint akoigi kano gi every district khudimakta su akoigi human trafficking ji thengna ba akoigi every district khudimakta audikti cell sing asi akoigi thana gi oina loina mo laire gazetted officer mamna ayamana head tawrga ko aduna whenever kano laiba kanda closely akoi yam phajana monitor tawi and especially Tenopal district aigi si Tenopal district ni madam Tenopal district si akoi international border oibnina once ngasai border trace si hojipudi luckily covid ki pandemic laigi bagi ai border si loina seal tawraga laigi Namphalong and gate number 1 je once masi tawraga di no mada ngasai Myanmar da sangi ba tholai ba si so much ni crisscross tawna se for business purpose kai no da khoi FMR free movement regime laibani through Namphalong di khoi without passport adum kharamak changbagi keno si ai adu da mamang da thenaba some instances su some locality ade khoi state ki hai tare ko not just Tenopal khakting na taba khoi state sing chi kaino sing chi phone da tawraga kaurani ngasai moina su recruiter sing su yam sing na hone phone da kaurani nang Namphalong bazar bak tang lawa ma Namphalong bazar thengna si ne kaino da once Namphalong bazar cross taw international border cross taw na khoi gi jurisdiction ji laitre ada khoi ji ketang helpless oiba aduga hoi khoi asongi counterpart che khoina phawna ba yadi haibna te phawna da bai matam du da already ngasai kano singa maroiba adu ngasai phone da tawra kaurani once som tawraga di mai moi makhuda changraga di madudagi di ngasai moi movement je free jam to oiroiba han ba bawta di ngasai gi border cross about di certain instances leije instance ani ne koina thengna ba si through ICP da phajana passport ka sema ga la ga changi ba karama adu changdringai da koina phajana detection ta horaga ngasai gi victim sing du rescue ta horaga mai home da sinagi ba adai khara mana ngasai gi khoi gi Manipur state ki natraga Indian gi kano oraga na ICP chang da bida Namphalom da chalaga just more do cross ta horaga Namphalong da once lai yauraga di moi makhuta changraga ngasai gi ahan ba border cross ta wodi kitang willing yaung ga doine ba themaga nang sidang yaura sidai di nang loin sembirani du torni once jom yaug di moi almost kidnap ne adu da gi di moi marai bak tu laibuk farbo kharana koina lokthokpa ngamore fatabaduna karai de end up tawdoino haibidu khangaroi kaigino da mai identity ji chunggang khangaroi sini laiba scenario si aduna aina mayam da somuka hanna ningsing janingbadi masuma crime sing si detect tawse haragadi all akoi kano sing si joint effort ama sangi kaino da khoina ngasi thengleba crime against women gi kano sida ate laiba kano sing si organized crime nate ayambana organized crime oigande individual level la ngak toiba adu trafficking is the yamana racket apik pana traga macha racket amati hete dum yawro me some form of organized crime oiba aduna yamna danger oiba mase khoi state khakta gi khoi country gi haknai te all over world khoi gi human trafficking gi adu su mainly against women masidi yamna soba sathiba crime ni aduna masigi crime mase khoi punna mungtang khongthang changsin maina unitedly fight to ba ma darkar lai haibasi thamagai saide tension jargi
yam thagachari kogi Sir Vikram Singh kogi yamna maru oiba yam challenging oiba yam burning oiba serious issue of trafficking of women Manipur to is matang thambiram gidamta am thagazari ado ai nanga sum matam lobse ngai tre matam se ai ngangjara ro horen gi roshalakpada aina pihok daba comment khadung pi bi ayaba du mayam na pina bigini hojikte ya straight away kogi manga su speaker kogi Shri Pradip Phanjoubam mayam you know him that he is a senior journalist and right now editor of Imphal Review Arts and Politics Manipur. Nohogi Pradip Nangang Dorivasi, Koida Tangadori Wafamsi, importance of media in addressing plights of women victims of violence. Shida Pradip Phanjoubam Tambigani. Sir Pradip, please take your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And we dialing in Birba, we dignitaries, ma'am, audience, Libiriba, we learned delegates, ma'am. They were from Gradan Tamsi, when people topics, the importance of media in addressing plight of women victims of violence. I get topics, Simak Tapchan Sangendringa, and the Kitaka Wapam Gradan Tamjogi, going away. Kulong Java Hagadra, may am Ngang with the Sukan in a respond on the President. Respond to say, we on the Haragati journalist nature, which Tasena, which he we are supposed to be holding up a mirror to society, man, the to his senior man, one Bene has a high. Amaramdana, I was dedicating him, the journalist, since he Magi Matosika in Haganda, speak truth to power in the winner. Hangala Kumbasi, Hangala Kumba. Zum the me among Angans, Pazina Hamota, Zumbranan, Zumini Hamota, Zumbranan. Same question, but then we are angle of twist and pina. So I hung on heavy bottom slave of it. Other than a hammer who cancer is a hammer, heavy since getting contrarian view, I didn't care about you think about Tom Zagim, has gone, has Huggy Mamma and Big Hosing and Angans. Yanham the Huggy, Madam, referred to Guayna. I've done it, but when the Busia, free press, they ought to go to go. What is I now the chairman? Like he had about 21 GLP with a company to la community GLP against the Yadi had any even motive on the one to do other idea. I said, Lozaki, Yari and Lozaki, Duga. And hiding point out of Amoy. Can you consider when Judge ruling the work consider when as you can see, creative interpretation of the law, heavy problems, saying was the against when intellectually in the I'm seeing Frank Capriogi judgment, ma'am. Manto Consequento have against the I want a quietly Hana Kurto was going to get a bottle Russell Hani about logician, mathematician near the Boo, Nobel Prize from the literature, Nobel Prize and Pangi. Although Mana Iran by a CMLA, the harm that good men do. And I know Lord Sasabani Haggans, the Lord and Lord interpret on Haggans, the land we are lay heads. Human experience is much bigger than the law. So the law has to be creative, and law has to actually creatively improvise to the situation. As I Judge Capriogi, the ruling man, is Japan Upang. An example, example, see, I just eat a police at Tasana. When a Kariguma, when the society against the society, a group of Malayans, which Sangom the Galere, Sanam Lazy, other Mayam Pichatic, I talk to the guy to has so 20,000 rupees, Sanam Lazy. Some supplied already going up 20,000 rupees. Kaitoga me and the sinner responsibilities. Me the markets are Kansas Sunland. Some women the Kale say, Sunland, the some woman the Kalevina, who erase some of the money. Erase lie. Some women the time period. Or haying judgment like I say, and again misappropriation or a hectare. Now, procedural laws already Sunlay or Harris, irregular, and then the beauty chance line. The CPM to European to have been in against the Russell Lynn has in a creative interpretation. Human experience is so large, you can't confine it within the law or any set of laws, any norms. The kinds of experience is also expanding. I know Madam experience Hingale. See me, I'm told the mams in corporate toxic here, heavy argument to Adu provision of Sudakale or Lak. Other Queen Maramak the D, with laws the Linga Ponte. Later, we need to do some creative interpretation of the law. To even when Malafide or my intentions Magadi, even if it is slightly against the norm, procedural norms, getting hand over who it should be forgiven, have put him line. I see this as matter very see, Ma'am Kahan get over there, haziki same objective the kahai posit kitang su nei na ba daka le na kai hai sai judgment to objectives want the na this is the point of flash of over sai to we posit when the creative interpretation daka le is no da sai had to harm that good men do in roughly abuse the ma'am they said internet is free from as you said adu ye gan start ho kan mathan dai na hai ja nga sai gi ha to we can see the figure ma'am yam tak pi ha ma khu ha speaker chairperson hai bi kan see the figure ma'am si khara han dare figure adi is the akoina gender violence hai kan see the machine the tears of people nupi adu rape tor me to kan see the sisu chumi to do ni adu says the overt commission of crime, you know, adi against the swivel live. When over crime to talk and swivel is again either Sagi say the Hojisic Yamkana current is going to get Jordan Peterson in a author, American scholar in Mana, a psychiatrist, he's one of the most foremost intellectuals internationally. Mana talk arguments figures height on as a thing I'm going to put there. The Magi like 12 rules for life, and we internet 12 rules for life. I might lecture of whom without a MC likes Padia and I live in 12 rules for life. So, high map see genders, mana, gender equality, has the feminism movements, the mana see counters the Limasi, Tasena, standard feminism, the mass feminism has to be redefined, heavy more man Haisana. There's a feminism, so the so many rapes, so many tokens in mana. What about the atrocities against the victimhood of men? Lana Siri Misigana, Hangbruk, when come the wild of the Science. Lana Siri Misigana. Then Sagi, when the migrant labor ma'am, Kong Chatana, talks with Seliman, Nupir and the Bara, Kaham and Sagi, Priyadarshini Gangte have heavy. So the Minupigi, Massing, against a gender, Massing and Handarika, I see. When Priyadarshini didn't have the how do we call it? It could be something else. Migration, like I said, if you're in the migration, out migration, like I said, in migration, the generally male population rise or migrant labor men, obviously, Nupana Yamsel, in the piece of Kazali Jamsati. Sagi, so many gender violence, I consider, as I figure out to consider getting Huawei or defend to Sidava. Other than hiding is when Yem consider overarching structure of her labor, consider gender violence, gender inequality, like consider when a some have a patriarchy, and the patriarchy, Possi, Yamkanapan Birte, Yamkasun, the patriarchy, hyposically, it's not so much a structure, physical structure, it's a state of mind. State of mind in a gender, the Nupinapasi. Manade Haimela angles 8 of the Kanza, I do his swear candidate war. Matamatana structure geology. I mean, I seen it in a common sense. When a Grand C, when a bit of common sense is actually informed by your environment. Other common sense, common sense, everything relate to Pate. There has to be some counter argument, counter hegemonic and police. The Sai Navina. Yum the Torokans, the people name Yan language, Mongol, 100 Loyan, the Pins, and the Party, I never. Yahalisica, patriarchal structure and head. Patriarchal structure is widely the learning about gender violence from there. Physical violence, alternative violence has the societal labor, inherent structure, ma'am, inherent values, ma'am. It's learning about Jumtokre, learning my mom, conformed of her, morphed of your head. I don't know. Lale Hagan said, Lale, ma'am, I never. Other than Yangas, the Quina, Sagi, Nupil or Navy, I consider. What Navy was he, Nupana, the Nupinto, the structure of the company, I consider the Nupinas all, Nupina, Nupi, Henry Helombe, doesn't have a as I consider Engan, side women, John Vision, like the young money, Nanasimuna, home on the P. Long consider. Hammer who said, "War, you catch out on it." It's 100. Oh, they don't consider the most high in the Pima being a other yin. The Pima is a child to get it out and have on the audio. Zanabini have on the clever. Zanabini had his game on his Hagi, a quaggy state of mind. See, Petraki have a state of mind. My other loy too late. I don't say gender violence. I guess in the Quina as I have the has discourse at Haisna, Nupan or Pan or at the Hydra. The Pan originally maybe, but then that has come into the structure, so that the structure is actually oppressing the women. Tokans the Nupin and Peter wants to hear when he answered the literature, cinema, or when everyday practice, man, consider mama mother-in-law sana manem box na mamu bi only have sana maku won only have the manem bon only have hen yam helm ngani no kedo do hel no no bi always get away no hai consider see explanations so when as we consider kanogi France financier man like Richard of the earth and man iram di colonialism badan di uni as operations la consider see consequences na kamai lege see is the one of the editions of this book is Aribam line John Paul Sartre kanogi French philosopher ni mana preface some eva preface the mana explain those guys operations la consider I see operation to slave African slave in ceremony slaves generation after generation or like I say is hand and kandarakwa is has self pity to Jarakwa is image own image the taste of me out there I see that image in somebody else. I am violent towards that other person. I said, "Akwegi oppressed society things that oppressed. I'm not oppressed. Hey, oppressor no oppressor. Todo. Some like a white man, black man. I'm telling Americans that black man oppressed on Americans that heinous hatred of violence to says that. Akwegi Manipur context. The youngans that akwegi Naharon man land tori hands heron. Women say Canada. Yeah, no sit that no sit that. Mutlaka Havan Cannabis, women can again hello. See, image, a quick inside Saturn and Hiberiba, Saturn Hiberiba, Sakugi, oppressed class men, see, and Masazi operations, one self mess, the test of easy, Galupo, no kind of Ayman, same predicament, who can say in a putting happening, Man, Lutum, Gitonica, can be him, see, for some 20. See, much you were good like Laquina, get away the motor, mother-in-law, why is the mother-in-law more cruel to the daughter-in-law, then the father-in-law, or male members of the family, not so much cruel to the say mother cruel. See, male members is 20 female members here, sister-in-law, I go, mother-in-law, they will be in the same predicament when the mother-in-law probably also faced those same circumstances. With the Lukacharaga, Horombe, Mazo Aduzu. Why does she want to also feed that other woman to look up? I consider as Hagi principle told I am an oppressed class. This is the norm. So she also has to be oppressed. We perpetrate that oppression. See, we have to break that. When gender equality program as Hagi police Hibiramba, me crime to Pare, against Hagi ma'am, Hina was figured out with Dundee Bidoni. When problem is solved, again, we are not addressing that state of mind. We are only addressing that symptom of that state of mind. So, when a Lina Amatri consider there is a Lina is symptoms labor. I from the Kutayarong to Legas the Molum, they consider maybe the problem is my liver battery. Some treat of those from the Molum, they overall Lina to cook one dinner. Other when I young consider I state of mind, like we Petraki and Lace. Petraki, we have to redefine it. Redefine the body, line out the lady, symptom during I don't I gave rape the Winikande. I think it's high, ma'am, described a weird problem, ma'am. The people on I say, those are symptoms. Petraki lady Tolini, the whole Hagadi, the last coins like the whole Hagadi again has the. It has to be a dialectic process. Ma'am, Prazamiam, who systems why but Tanging Hagi, Nupim Jam, Lukakablo, seats and Visugaya, again, Hanagi, Mena Baby, and Nupi Octavine Paraga, says the Ma'am, opposite Hene, all is condition, context, combu, Haibatawa. Aduga Quina says the sort of thing in the Panega, Mangam, Panaka, literally. Little the Pamiam, the Loika had the Nupiam, Harris, Kedo Heno, and had a hyper Tonton Heaven Jamba. The quick Kusanabini Hagadi, and the oppressor already to I don't have a see, Ma'am Totomina Heno Tangeva. And Nupima said, Kitty Helen ends with a quick observation, so we can consider my mantle size and dressing in silly second. Nang was the PC Octavine hiding with you, see, Nupina hiding Mana, Panahim, they had Henomale. I don't know. I didn't Peter blame the ones and I just said, Nupada blame the one to snatty. I oppressive way of Petraki, Commander reform those again. Commander dismantle those again. Dismantle Dorga, new society, and Shames again has a Petraki, Amuk to Ivan Tangeva. The Petraki might have Horikino, Haragadi, sees history to one day, we Horka consider primitive society, primordial society, this is the Petraki postulator in the bar. And it is determined by economy. H. Morgan, when even like the Frederick Angel Namagi, origin of state family, private property and family in a like my power like See, primordial societies, there were so many institutions which were missing. For instance, there was nothing as marriage. Marriage like against the society and see Angaman, Horokan, the Mama Mapa Masakandi. Little Maxi Mpata Nidana, Aquina Sigi reminiscence of my Lakeda, Aquiming, Aqui societies in the Su, Aqui like I live in a it's an out in Kalina. See, my Hawaii has not tiny later society to give reminiscence. Tiny, I'm going to tiny, I can say, Loins among her tiny, I can say, the marriage have institutions later in the day. Loins among moral value appears the corner you are in never. Moral value appears a way federal angels and have the day. A way Hanagi primitive society is the hunting gathering during a city. There was no need for the family. There was no need for a bigger society, no need for a family. But only when we had agriculture, the animal herding, surplus apostle, we needed somebody to inherit. My property inherit on her. Private property was told to give her. Other Warium Sakre, I'm saying, I don't just things already. Then I say, hygienic is at the end of the quickie when gender operations, let us also fight the symptoms. Symptoms is happen. Sometimes symptoms can kill. But we also have to fight the disease, and the disease is that state of mind. With state of mind, patriarchy is not my answer, to me, I got common sense. And Nubi Penisi, Yan Lan, Dogadi, and Nubi, my moody, Takum the Hindoidonic, have sit to me and what kind of Kalangizi. Kalizang, I'm going to Niger of the Nupa community, Nubi's Kaleva. In fact, I would say that there are so many males who are feminists. Nupirai, Tazava, Nupasiam Layabsum. Are you going to Nupirai, Tazi, Haga, Dr. Godan Hagi, Petraki, gatekeeper, Petraki Zingan, Hagi, and Nupimzam, home with the Mamon Mogi, Mainda, like Nupina, Sangaga, Lukaka Hamdo, Maitodana, Nupina, Petraki, gatekeeper, and Posiam labor. See, ma'am, when Han acknowledged or can't dismantle dominance, I have a to me. Otherwise, get a disease to fight over me. Not a good symptom, I am fight or later, disease go to symptom, Kerko, see crime, Handere, Reker Handere, Hakanda, disease go to I just got. I listen there again. See, I had listening. A wiggy can attend gender issues in a cancer. Let us think about that state of mind. Let us think about let us think about that state of mind. That state of mind is the disease. We patriarchy heavily is the disease. Or the state of mind is going twice again. Wiggy Hana Sanar Mini Hagasu. Wiggy in particular grants given if the Hana Sanar Mini Huimana have the organic intellectual guy. Intellectuality it's given to me. I see the understood Nika have Posilakose. Almina granted low posing Hana question to the Lali Haven of the question to Nang Haisi Gabrina. Nupina, Yum Lakan, Lukak Yabra. Have a question, some kind of question to Seva. Yadi Hagri Plutominus and the person to be someone and Dominus is rape the Vogal crime, my pathological disorder, and be a punished Odoni, the way Adina, who is child marriage, Yadi Hena, Toriba, Sati Yadigana, Ram, Rajaram Hono, Lord Samuel, Lord Sims, Lord Heaven, Habits who Haisi, Hina Hui minds is change of Seva. I know Hanak Sepi, Janabisi, class over the Moise online class, so you must see the leader, I mean, the land of the Moigitogan Sataya, who Hana reformer, Mam Sigi, walking on the Moisu, I don't know music rather than Mohun Roy Hintermisi, when I have see Yampasa Hemiauriba, who is hypertrack is structured 12 minor, a quick structure is twice, two icons are quick at gun see. Heta, modern system Pusilixi, how you walk in the cutting answer. Modernism we want. But westernization we don't want, because westernization is colonialism. We are not asking for a colonial kind of mindset. I don't pay haven't they? But we have to modernize. We have to go base it on science. But we can't leave our tradition altogether. But we have to reform those our tradition. We will retain our identity, but this will be a new identity. See most the Manipurese who frankly gender equality fights who gender oppressing fights who let us fight the disease along with the symptoms. Symptoms have to be tackled. But the more important battle is with the disease. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pradip. If Pradip forgives me, I am a little disappointed with him because I was expecting a very insight, perspective from the media because he is a senior journalist. But I must say that Pradip has made things easier for me because he has already moderated all the papers that have been presented earlier. Thank you so much, Pradip. But anyway, Pradip has started about his from Russell to Gramsci to Fanon. I mean, I wish I would have had some more time to listen to what he talks about these great writers. But here, being a student of sociology, you know, since Pradip has already mentioned about these three great philosophers, and pertaining to what we are discussing here today, that is violence against women. I Karl Marx, not that I'm Marxist, far from it, but Karl Marx philosophers of the world have only interpreted the history. The need, however, is to change it. Change it means we have interpreted the patriarchal mindset system pertaining to violence against women. Now, as Pradip has said, that this patriarchal mindset should be demolished. Change it. And then we will be able to curb, if not stop altogether, this violence against women. Thank you, Pradip. And Aribam presentation da Shri Sadananda Sorokhaibam from Manipur Judicial Service. Right now, Deputy Member Secretary, Manipur State Legal Service Authority. Shri Sadananda Naikoida Thambikaduri Wafam say legal aid for women victims of violence with emphasis on Manipur Victim Compensation Scheme 2019. Yes, you are the last speaker, so you can have, you know, I am not giving you the permission, but if you want.
Okay, thank you, moderator, sir, and to all the esteemed panelists who have spoken on, who have given us wonderful insights before me today. Actually, ngasi program se ahambada khoi Women's Day lakwa matamda Women's Day numit toina sinse na tongnaram tauba tabu khoi ngasi mangjong na han sinja bani segi maram di solely there's only one reason khoi platform piraga khoi ngasi insights me am illuminating of insights me am amasu pire from all the fields, various experts as well as renowned professionals me amna segi platform se pira matungda khoi shared perspective me am se khoi na key takeaways oina lauraga upcoming Women's Day sida wider dissemination as well as awareness pinaba as well as khoi hidden noiba problems regarding on the issue of addressing the violence against women sigi se matang sida pukhat pa yagadra na opportunity am laura ngasi sinjabani aduna ai hek mamang da ngangbi ki ba khoi esteemed panelists na su haibi kre speaking he had mentioned about speaking truth to power. Truth to power habis ya maru oiba concept ni kai no di difficult oiba question se post to have ni khoi gi hangbada khumbada wa ba question sing se mayam da post to gadam ni sai som da post to gadam ni kai do ba gi khoi na to ba ya di hai ta ri kai do ba ya dri no have de ho gadam ni aduna ngasi mayam chu ngasi participants mayam join to biriba as well as online forum da su mayam yeng birip sing da su ai request am tawjage lairiba question difficult question karikra lairib sing laibiba yaw tar su ngasi khoi gi lengsin biriba panelist yamna magi field da yamna renowned oraba yamna expert oraba professionals mayam sidagi adum si opportunity se lobiraga adum lobi ba yagani. Now coming to my topic, I topic is legal aid for the women victims of violence with special emphasis on the Manipur Victim Compensation Scheme 2019 having is two parts to break away to work. The legal aid for the women victims of violence. Then I'll come to the part about the problems we're facing against regarding the victim compensation in Manipur. So, program how with the Madam Member Secretary so happy by default under the provisions of the Legal Services Authorities Act, women say they are entitled to free and competent legal services. It is statutory over provision ni ain gi matung ina moi the period provision ni sina habadi atopa wahi da haragadi koi justice hariba or access to justice harigadra koi constitution of India gi makagi matung ina yamna long and cherished dream or goal or da facilitate to wanda haidi moi si phangan bada justice phangan bada or access to justice ki matang da phangan bada koi je moi special status sama pi bagi mong ni ngasi program sigi agenda sigi matungin nadi suppose if a woman is a victim of violence so accordingly she needs to go to a redressal forum and complain to Obama Darkar way. Redressal forum it's not only of the courts, she can go to the police for complaint, as well as she can go to the State Commission for Women, then she can go to the court for redressal of her grievances. Magi siguma grievances in chatpada by reason of any economic, social or gender or any other disadvantage laibado lahalloidabani hana India constitution na piramaba magi right amani. Accordingly, koina legal service institution na piri se sigi right se manghandabani magi opportunity deny to bayade. Women nama se magi victim of violence oire. Ma se victim of violence or ne ma se court sa tayadre magi case thade yadre or other redressal forums sa tayadre hai tardi. Magi damakta koi legal service institution na female advocate piba or koi paralegal volunteers piba si me amsi moigi matungi help ki matungi na magi right to deny to waya di hana haibani aduna haibada kamaina satkani how to approach this institution legal service institutions have this is yana formal loiba pod ampong natte ilai lai banga tani koi ground grassroots workers haigading asisu present or very participant marakta paralegal volunteers mayamam lai then legal aid clinic all over Manipur around 60 legal aid clinics lighting asigi oina Manipur da then we have a very dedicated team of panel advocates koi gi moise mayam gi mating pangjaragi hana koi gi panel advocates sing je thokjarak pani Manipur legal service authority gi makha da panel to bani moi sing sida any mating loba yani kamaina approach tawni habada anywhere legal clinic ta chat pa yare then khoi front office aina mayamam lai district legal service authority gi office singi helpline number sajiki hajiki genthok charai ba sigi papers da loin yaw ni helpline number as well as one stop center gi helpline number su yaw bani sidai is da adum phone call ama to biraga adum sufficient oi ba poni kai guma masa physically langam dre hai tar ga so aduna as well khoi gi mamang da khoi gi data gi matang da su hypet panakre ado samlapa data khoi gi 2020 gi matang da hire gadi khoi legal service institution khoi Manipur salsa gi makada pizza ki basi in the year 2020 se khoi around 86 women da khoi panel advocates pizza ki free oina sina moina court ta case lai basing da either defend tawba or file tawba or whatever regarding the grievances lai ba then around 1300 women sing se khoi legal advice and counseling pi ki si gi matang da ayam badi khoi grassroots workers oi riba panel lawyers as well as paralegal volunteers na chaurba thodang ama loraga pi gibani ada mostly as per the data analysis tawkanda most of these cases relates to domestic violence na yamba oi atopa na minimal oi 70% of those cases will relate to marital disputes or domestic violence oi fare sina ama oi kre aduga pandemic ki hamba lockdown ki horakpa matam sida pi gibasi 44 cases lai from the period from April to June April 1st tagi pa tarde April to June madung sida ko complete lockdown lai riba matam sida yamna thokpa yadri matam sida kitang ka hena thok prana khanjai domestic violence cases 44 cases lai out of which 4 cases were koi quarter domestic violence ek ki makha da case oina file tau ki bagi keno lai ra data oina lai ra aduna sigi matang da data gi matang sida haibada koi gi noted scholar from Northeast region haigadra Sanjoy Hazarika na mana khoi gi mamangi khoi function ama tau matam da mana hairami covid pandemic sizu laire tawbatu covid tagi na sathi pandemic am lairi hidden pandemic ama violence against women se khoi hidden pandemic ne na hai na low ba ya na hairami ai gi sai mot su chumen khali khoi gi reported case tai unreported cases me am chena hena big chunk of the violence against women gi se lairam gadra na khali report taw da bana ya me na khali sima laijare tawbatabu khoi gi addressing violence against women sigi issue se yamna multi dimensional oiba issue ni id different sai gender perspective to mayam ama khana nei khre patriarchal matang su nei na khre gender harabudi gender is the violence against women addressed of the gender perspective se kya pusin janing de for example kai no hajik gender se ani khitanga je na binary concept khitang na tre atop concept tole gender ha da hum mari su rakpa gi keno lai re aduna gender gi matang na ta khoi gi just violence against women haina dum palaning sina ma lai re then khoi multidimensional issue where khoi addressing violence against women na se aduna khoi gi aina hajiki second part oina regarding the compensation victim compensation scenario in Manipur sigi daina problem oina kitang highlight oina tawjaning bani kai gi no habadi every suppose me nupi ma se magi mathak to violence to en khala se magi part of the kai no se justice phangna bhona bhai tar justice ki complete oina bhona je compensation is a big part of a big chunk am oeba compensation yaw tadi magi justice se complete oi de justice phang ba se complete oina oi de ana lo ni ba aduna hajikan every rape to or cases under the POCSO act ki makha the honorable judges me amna mi am se mara lai de haiba matam da my compensation si award to we 5 lakh award to or 10 lakh award to re hana dum tar is cover the 20 ur is compensation forms a very important part while addressing the issue of the addressing violence against women compensation je phangol de tar di adum lakuna ma dum le haweba hai tar ga di sigi yamna samba rational oi tar ga di koina state na accountable when gre for maintenance of the law and order have say koi state ta loina sinal kram ne kai gumba violence against women to a high tar di mangon the violent or maybe accused high the suspect high the or mangon the violent violence or maybe me do maral pi base court ki sina state ki responsibility ne ma se prosecute tawraga ma se kamai na maral pi ni ma se kari evidence puthokani mai mathak ta kamai investigation tawni habisina adom site ta laikre then after that comes the compensation part kai habade me se ma se victim of violence or violence or tadi ma se na hajiki magi mathak ta torome mara le banu pa du dang punishment pi bana sufficient or magi justice phangbada haiba question ji lakwadani sida is just na koina just not only punishing the accused is not sufficient enough because we have to provide the victim the necessary compensation koi rehabilitation ki part ne ba sida la is aduna Manipur da su all India ki type ta koina law ki matuna criminal India ki criminal law ki matuna compensation je pi ka damni hana incorporate tawre accordingly we have a Manipur victim compensation scheme 2019 luri ba question ji sigi scheme ji ki makha da paisa je phangi bra phang de bra hai ba ki question ma di yam chaung na thoi aduda laiba issue di khabar da di toina ubiramani corner convict tawre no pa ma se and as well as at the same time magi compensation award pi 10 lakhs but there is no follow up koi magi compensation se actually phangibra phangdriba haibagi follow up ti kasi bok ta udari aduna ngasi gi whole discussion da su every aspect se koi loina cover tawre regarding addressing the issue of the violence against women tawba compensation gi part se just dikso dum neglect tawra lairi sigi sai khitang phajana highlight tawjani koi victim compensation scheme 2019 gi makha da pi se scheme victim compensation fund nama create to have any see accordingly ko na ta rising high ta see 5 lakh piro 10 lakh piro awarded recommend to give compensation amount se to pi ko have any then accordingly who is a victim have defined to me victim have kanano kai juna te am sam na have the whoever is affected by the any criminal offense have any crime am na affect or me do ne adu karam case ta compensation pi ba ya have is victim compensation scheme gi makha na pajana pi mayek seng na pi re ko loss of life as well as gang rape ki matang da 10 lakh na maximum quantum or then minimum quantum na rupees 1 lakh for physical disability or any other mental harassment. Ito imarakta cover the mental harassment as well as acid burns, acid attacks ki victim gi isu cover the way si scheme si matungina. Ado karay da sani kamay na sani hay targadi kon naga rai tabiradi pare ma se recommend or victim compensation na adubu tabu court na conviction pi jingai matam da di gap khara lai bi from the time of occurrence ma se ngasi crime to aga court na evidence wait to ga pi de na 1-2 years tang ba ya adugi marak si da di kamai na cover tawni or in case ngasi jama kananom se rape to me khal la si ne no pi ma se aduga ma gi tawrami ba rapist to ngasi bok thi phang je khal la se mang re ngasi bo investigation taw de to lak tre khal la se adu matam da na mi se no pi se ma gi compensation pi ga dra pi roi dra hai ba question nama tholei taw ano ba law gi matung indian law e mentor ba criminal law se mentor matung da di moi sing su cover tawi kai gumba in case even if man no pi si gi ma gi perpetrator of the crime se thi ba phang dra ba or court case taw da ma se evidence to su da badagi ma se mara lai train equit taw kribitar ga su ma gi compensation phangpam se di ma gi right wena dum le hau ga ni ba si gi sinana kamai taw ni ha ba da khoi district legal service authority haina every district khunimakta koi Manipur state legal service authority makha da loina hangjai sida is the anyway approach to way sida su yamna chawba formal loina application gi darkar thoina ta de pawdong phawi ro aduga makha ta ba kari kra changge haiba du di moi da khanara ga dum yai for example ma gi hajikida court na recommend to rakwa sing city genuineness of the incident hai ki incident do sing bai tho khre se dum clear oi re court ki judgment da yauzaram ni adui makha da moina district legal service authority na just moina inquiry tau do ba whatever tau dai se genuineness of the identity ni mi do claim tau ba compensation tau ba lai do achumbra seng da hai ba du da ngai re aduga court ta gi lak ta ba individually application tharak pa kangu sing gi de two types of inquiry matter. First of all, market talk about incident or chum debra, hibagi, Dakar accordingly, necessary FIR buchan bro, as well as starship with hanga through or whatever other documents are karakani. Then apart from that, genuineness of the identity, me the Masakangopagi inquiry Masam Kitanita they say. As per the Manipur victim compensation scheme in 2019, the most of the can say either 2 or 3 months manung daloina dispersed of thokpo haibani every application for victim compensation whether court recommend or ko or well as individual lakpo oirasano 2-3 manung 2-3 tha ani ahum gi manung da loina kamagi amount to pb ko haibani aduga pokso gi makada anova 2019 gi rules ki matung ina decision attention grade within 1 month or 20 days manung da pu ana hajik loina laira si lo ni koina si dai da semdok pa yadra ba poni ana compensation na je phangbam thok ta bra hai ba du wan adu thok ta ba hai question lai tre phangbam thoi phangi ba phang da bra hai ba question du khita ne ba adu na manipur da lai re ba scenario si de koi ge victim compensation fund na create ta bra hai ba se quite important ni kai no fund lai tre di paisa do lai tre di ka de pi de no ana hangjaning question ni haji ki da mayam na hangda di manipur victim compensation fund je lai ra bra lai ra ga di si gi fund jina karai de paisa la ka da no haisu haji victim compensation 2019 scheme si makha da loina pi re kai de paisa la ka ni ap first amana koi gi budget state budget ta half kadam ni yearly allocation ama pi kadam ni mamang sahi gi da 9 lakh hapi handak sahi gi budi kaino budget document do udrim nya khangdre then another part amana koi gi central victim compensation fund naina bam lai koi gi nirvaya case ki matung ina 1000 crore corpus ama central government na cm ki adui matung ina 300 crore di by 2015 I think sidai to already released program ne ato manipur gi di central victim compensation fund je kyamuk lai ra ke habada as per the PIB Press Information Bureau ki report oina latest moi ki website ta sum phang bani si report matung ina 2016-17 da 34 lakh samadi kai hai adu hauji phaw utilization certificate pikhatri hai na press PIB ki report sa masai website sa dum yaw lai ra then another issue amana koi ki honorable the then Minister for Child and Development, I think Union Minister Smriti Irani orangani adui matam gi mana Lok Sabha gi star question nam su khomame hai base koi reported Hindu newspaper de su report ta ukram ni Manipur is one of the states which has not utilized a single penny of victim compensation fund ja for utilized tau de na ma gi Lok Sabha da piram haina hairam balai state ahum da Manipur manung chal leba faresina part ama lai kra then koi lai re question je fund lai ba lai tar ba hai ba question ama lai ra koi budget annual budget am da chahi ki yearly allocate to river victim compensation fund je 9 lakh hai che tawbu court am na single case am da award to yariba amount rupees 10 lakh ne single case am da suppose court am na 10 lakh ma se rape and murder tho khreng khal la se doi tari ma gi da 10 lakh se ma recommend to khreng khal se pokso case ta special just pokso na ma sa gi recommend to jabai ai without going to district legal service authority other recommend to khreng 10 lakh se som na budget na rupees 9 lakh kitang yaw re sidana kamai pi doi ba hai ba ga chobo question na ma su lai hoi to ba yai ko gi revise estimate ta ko na chahi loi ra ko da puthok ba yai adu ga review to ba yai pending application sing do review to lo na pi ba yai to there will be a huge time gap between the actual application and the disbursement. Adu dai du da la iba problem na sigi problem sigi solve tau ke hai ta ga di khoi gi hai riba fund se yam ge ra yam oi ra rupees 9 lakh hai ra sine khoi ge victim compensation fund da budget allocation da pi re se han na mang chong na kai thu ga tham ga dam ni victim compensation fund si savings national bank nationalized bank am da savings account ma hang mai ba ni saving account sa hang kan da han deposit taw ra tham ga dam ni once deposit taw ra tham ki tar di accountability se ko na victim kangu sin da victim compensation ta le ba kangu sin da pisil la lai re ba jik tim noina tan na ru chuai na pithoi ba adui mo ta ko already ko gi budgetary allocation ja kai thu ga saving account da happy ki tar di once ko na recommend to gi report se anytime ko na within 1-2 months ki ko na lo gi matung ina pi ri ba time si manung ina kai thu ko ngam ga ni na khal le then another important issue hai ga dra sina kai no ge si ma lai ra aduga matam su lo sila ko matung ina last winner, respected panelists as well as participants, I problem issue victim compensation ki the issue se yamna chawa issue ama oire the last 2 years I think more than 60 applications have been received from legal service institutions and have been forwarded to the Director of Rehabilitation and the Home Department. Sige matungina 60 applications mugla pasida more than 70-80% ti kanone women victims katani and women victims of violence ingi phangbam thokpa moi compensation se phangiba phangderba haibagi question achobam laire sigi se mayamna khogi mathang ta ba su any other further discussion any other further program da su sigi matang da khitang hena push to wina ba na mayam da ina khorum kano has a request of the thank you also.
What made me all the more happy is the fact that the crowd, the participant, the fully I've seen certain kind of ear which I have not seen elsewhere. I have presented papers in the country, abroad. I have moderated papers elsewhere. The city, I'm showing meeting with I could be wrong, but I don't want to be to wrong. Allah, my answer to Taraga, I think present of Viva, paper turn to the police officer, but the magazine introduction with participant the question I know review high
and I sorry online viewer I think it is online viewer of the question see I know the participant may am the vis-a-vis presentators da ina hangbion thamding da online viewer ji question jung thamjage adu masigi mari leina si kanana khunggadage haibado adu akoi khanase question is the online viewer am pirakpani ko let me read out the question. What is the way forward for a robust and effective reporting and monitoring mechanism for crime/violence against women, given the general feeling that most women-related issues/crimes often go unreported? So this is a very pertinent question. In fact, I wish I am the one who asked this question. See question say, we panelists manga haitare manga sida loin thamjage masi question say online viewers singgi. Otherwise, I could be wrong, but to the base of my say knowledge, I come masi question sigi kumbada quite give matik jaba. Any we have with us. I mean, not disrespecting the other speakers. I want the question. First is none other than the chairperson of the Manipur State Commission for Women, Dr. Professor Binota Meinam. She's the first one to answer this question. And the second to my mind is our senior journalist, Pradip. I don't know how you take it, but this is what I think about it. So I'm throwing the question to all the speakers. Please. Yes. Please listen very carefully. This is a very important question. In fact, this question might take care of the other remaining questions that you would like to put off. Question is, what is the way forward for a robust and effective reporting and monitoring mechanism for crimes/violence against women, given the general feeling that most women-related issues or crimes often go unreported? You can come here, or either you can take that to yes.
Thank you, sir. Let me try to respond to this question, even though it is a very difficult to answer in one answer, because our state is not much developed state as far as the technology concerned. Recently, we are trying to develop some apps regarding to cope up this kind of incidents happening in every look and a corner of the state. But I feel that it is impossible to do that because of the lack of the technology availability in all over the state. But we can make it through district-wise technology apps to put up through the by the government. But when we are asking these apps to put up in the state, in each district, the responsibility of operation of this kind of apps should have one cell. So every district needs to have technological cell to put up this app, and we can reach out to every needy people. But it is up to the government decision. Yes, certainly. Recently, I found out these apps from a big company. They offered us, and even we are trying to have one function for this also. Recently, I got it, and this kind of the technology, if we are able to put up in the public, then somehow, to some extent, we can cope this problem. But solution will become later on after hearing the proceedings and everything. But to reach out to the needy people means aggrieved women. This could be the one solution, and giving awareness program to each and every look at the corner of the state. This is another second point to cope up these women grievances and aggrieved women's reach out. I have to say this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I think Yamna Phajaba, one way of addressing the issue as well as one way of answering the question. I mean, not that this is the hers, not that hers is the exclusive, answer to this. There could be many answers. And for this, I would request Pradip, our senior journalist, to add to what has already been said. Sri Pradip.
Thank you, Hazki. Question is, why are people not reporting crime against women heavily? I think One of the reasons is that people don't see a crime in many things being done. Ubusraina yang patom tori hari tamni na. Ngarang mata hai kan sida kui crime hai define to consider there are certain overt crime, cognizable, legally cognizable crime later. Then there are also certain metaphoric and intangible crime. I think it's a crime. I want to it militates against my sense of fairness. It militates against my sense of justice. I see the law that the law doesn't see it that way because the law is already written there. Law that he see the crime that they have definite So I think we have to change this. When the law considers overarching state of mind, patriarchy, state of mind, we need to first dismantle that. Crime may have to be this Kongin. And then the request on him was there were so many reformist movements in India. When the Sati Bayandaram Daida, Raja Ram Mohan, when the Toki movements, oh, I have to, okay. So Raja Ram Mohanurgi Mogi movement Lakansida. They were also aware of this. When they get away the Satima, Napima, my Mapura, in the mind pasi, and my Tavasida, man, the crime report, they didn't see anything wrong in that. Overarching structural ideology, and this is the practice and highlight in a report. So I think it is for the elite to actually identify. Law is reformed. Maybe we make the law. Jail Tamnika heavy posse. Kitang law when intangible to make it tangible. With intangible atmosphere made. Says that we can say metaphoric crimes. When white portly we consider this should be made a crime and a reformist movement, a way elite man campaign Doroga, Six Uni and higher consider Sumaina Queen, who can have panic Alamagati city Mangon or guys in the PDM degrade or whatever. The Nupi themselves are using that. I'm a base creature as in the Pina, Hajar, even in Pina, I consider Panikaroyan Salamina, Mangonda, Honobraka Hazi, Mangonia, the Sade. Can I answer logically answer Amalefun Tokuneva? Could they Yandi Arasi, Hyposi, Yahan Masi, Aquina, Matai reformist movement, La Gansida, Sumasi Landi, Jumdi, Kanga Gansida, law Susi, Agmonosor, legislature, law semi campusing, see, consider law and enact laws would have put them label laws and human experience is so large, it's infinite. The law city we experience we're trying to encapsulate that into law. Other consider law said that Uhodo Posia as hide in Lokaka, I don't get law the other Lokaka and law and hide. So I told me we have to be conscious of this and we have to also start that awareness program. We have to tell the society at large that this is it. If there's something like this, we have to correct it. As a social reformer, we'll start it, but ultimately the law has to take cognizance of this movement in the society and say that this is no longer allowed. I mean, it revolts against me. I walk into that. Nupi see, Nupi themselves are saying that I'm not equal. I'm a commodity. I'm a Poram Lay, Dani Lake, I told Labini, I have only take have said, Nupi Lon Yarwe, Nupi man Hayan, I consider the male murder soup because as I said in the beginning, as a male murder soup, there are so many feminists, female rights, Hazardaba. My Amtanga is the Nupi on the poor say, it should be made a crime. Either you divorce first and then remarry, otherwise, divorce or the penal is a crime. Other than mass punished over only law of the Hondoni Hagansid, a minister Tankayam and the Pilon only Yasi, Adu Yadakan's when social movement of Hagadi, Sumasi, BSC Horga, Mayam awareness program, Kandakale rank. See, they are getting excited. Lale has you organization, me, Halame has report only police upon only accident told me and since very report only. I don't know. Matala would not be a Momsalaga, look up busy, I said, Lona, ma'am, and then sit on I think I'm a quite liar, Lana, Torina, and the Wabdi will be dinner. Soon as she put up in his man, the Kamba, the guy.
Thank you, Pradip. Okay, online viewer questions here, I think to a very considerable extent, satisfactorily, Kumehana in Logeraga. I am sure, Madam Judge and Dr. Gangte have been only Adubu. ngasi matam losilak padi mayam digi lak pusna long chau lojera ga khoi eminent speaker ade si bu pien da bi kan to I please excuse me already khoi yes Manipur legal service authority ki Sadananda busu ayagna si choi dam ki lai rang wani khuning ba adugi su ko yai I would have loved to give more time to the participants. Yeah. I be
Moderator, sir, Haziki, same question.
Online viewer ki question do. Repeat the program.
Nasagi and Hazaki do. I decay report with the Gita, the Venamasing Adum Yameva. Sigi de Koigi Adum non fake amaneva. Adu report was a command Tohan Sigi highway question never. Empowerment gi matang amala eva awareness as well as empowerment aduda sigi matang sida koi gi ngasai na hypet panja ki bada most of the cases koi refer to ko se marital issue gumba domestic violence ki na kitang nam na sat lewa adugumba issue da di koi na direct oina sang ba ya da ba hai tara koi na phana matin pangling hai tara ga so direct hana approach to ba ya da ba hai tara adugum matang gi kitang problem khra thenga jai adoi tara ga di koi na women sing se masa sing se koi na empower to ba gi portion do ina koi hona jage na khalle for any cases koi da bu yorap tar ga di koi effective oiba competent oiba everything koi na ngamna ba magi right to mangan ba ya de magi full justice to pi na ba koi hona jage na khalle after that koi yorap tring ai gi question je koi da kamai ni yo halak tai no institutional level ta moi se kamai na purak tai no hai bai da awareness yam na darkar oi sigi matung ina koi gi handak koi from time to time from a long time hai tare Manipur State Legal Service Authority na awareness program specifically for women adum every district every village everywhere almost every nook and corner of Manipur da pangthok saraga su dum lak paneba aduga handak ki sahi gi oina koi targeted programs oina hapse leba not only awareness koi empower moi se kamai na tawni na phana ngang su phana haira su moi gi livelihood kumba moi gi support system ama koi na pi ba ngam da tar di koi na ngang ri ba law ri myam da kem ta kana de ba adugi matung ina koi gi honorable executive chairman Manipur State Legal Service Authority as well as madam member secretary koi Manipur State Legal Service Authority gi guidance ki makha oina koi na livelihood mission gi type ta koi pilot project kara haudok sare koi na first of all at first phase ta koi na Nupur, Infalis, as well as Rasampur, da, koi na haudok sa riba face, mo isa kamay na empower tawra kit own koi nupi sing sa kamay na empower taw sige habada ahan mo to na koi na widows, abandoned women sing sa hano koi na data collection taw zare sige matungin na mo isa hing na bagi lambi yung mapina na mo isa necessary training with in collaboration koi with livelihood skill mission koi Manipur gi government ki makada so mayama malaijari sige makada project ama paikhat sare aduna moi se masana aware ohen bam sange moi gi right se mayam ama lai si moi gi right se kaino khangdra di moi gi right se bale tawre ha bisi go to khangdre ba adu moi gi right se kamai ne aware to han gi ha tar moi se self sustaining oina moi masama tom de empower to han bam sange ba si approach se yora kan da koi gi id koi na haina ba am lai na koi evil la ba se muthat pangam da ba pon ni koi na phana tawra evil lai se dum lai ni koi na taw de ha tar de evil should be kept at bay as koi we should keep on fighting have the see the lak tai aduna si gi za smai no na kumjara koi legal service ki side
thank you it's so difficult to moderate such discussion where we have galaxies of experts. It's very, very difficult. It's a tough job, I tell you. I really wish I am one of the presenters, Anyway, hujiki online viewer na hangiba question cha koi expert me andagi tabi gare adunga chi hujikti na koi common participant am khagtagi na answer am khata tajage mayam sidagi hujiki online viewer na hangiba question du cham na ina Manipuri da meterun da haiba taragadi women related crime violence kaidobagi unreporting wari bino kaidobagi report torok tribano haiba sine masai participant myam dagi am khat khumbira uba adigi matunda
I with the permission of moderator ngasai do idi matam dulei tabigi time constraint oi begi I on the high road the brand khanba I gi oina different opinion myam pinare ko loi chum medum aduga ai yoina ma pizage ayamba unreported ni most of the cases are unreported maramdi aina ada akoi gi human rights ki ko parkhama conduct of the coordinator oingai da ada impal ways ki ne police amasu prakha se piba aduga interview to bala ko nimit sida noi se crime against women gi leitra na hangeba ai di kano singja candidates da singi angang duna ne kristu leiten hai adu police no pa no Imphal West ki police no ne I leiri du din han adu du mana haiba hai di ayamba report unreported ne boza adu na moina social stigma ko number 1 adu leigidra ani su badang sai gi ne police station da su amaya mai to bi ganu ko police station da su case se sum chatha ba ya ba se hek ta moina ne rai du yana na ba pot se adi law and adi implementing sai madam na hai ge bedo implementation taw ga do sta report adu du taw ga do sta adu ga da ga na paisa pira yana ba adigi kari kai ngarang na han maksu pokso gi ada tinopal gi tawri du di moi manung da family gi yanara me ko adu nam na kano tawraga adu taw ba victim du phare ba sorry accused to aduna ayamba unreported ni masigis di anyhow tawraga sir na so habib gumna sumbagi awareness sensitization si yam toina ko asai da leba akoi di khare di khange ada sing da man da ko adigi de remote master sing da sapiraga aina ngasai example oina haizari do mayang langjing da ai satlaga moi myam askai kar ba si atau sari dunia hai bu ko akoi su matam bangan tingai ngang bu adu kai no tawragan mai ka moina akoi mang de directly hai de na sona na saksa ba kan da ko moina ngang ba ta ba ko nungai te ba sidi nupi na magi right khangdri tawja sari ne pangangang ni sidi yaroi do po ni kai na mai hang still lady ba sidi yamna awareness and sensitization si pasana sathaba ma thautai.
Yes, we are already running behind the schedule. 1 minute, please. I'll come to you. I like to give. I would like to request Madam Judge also to say a few words. We are already late, so why not being late for another couple of minutes?
Judicial perspective ta yengzaraga di hojiki answer se court ki di complainant na agree party oidraga di cognizance so log de aduga asai informant complainant say sometimes mama na mapan adum tawe adubu in pokso case di angangi de di belu 18 years di non reporting of offense is punishable ne provision that we observe ba okay failure to report say any police officer ogera government service ogera judge ogera any offense ama pokso gi thuena khalaba aina khangaba madu aina ai khange aduna masigumba case mauda Senapati da mathoki JNB school gida masidai sida molest to we haidana ama thue angang si magi school teacher ma private tuition to bada azagi ka da sangu badu da mangona molest to re khole haire adugi molest to re haibu degi moina moigi boarding adugi school gi moigi warden moigi in charge su da report to re adu mana masim manna mane nainaga nu adu si gaigumba lairagadi loi sokna batare sina batare haidana moise khumjalle report to hodre whereas angang sina mayum da satle mathang report to na badagi di silong da leiba moigi silong na control to ba male endi moigi DC commissioner adu ada mayam se loi lae khudingwa masidai sida makoina CWC senapati ga tawreraga moina yana thomme ba masi problem se oza se transfer to hiba aduga mana masi amuhan na man haiduk taba aduga magi mingchan biba khopi bagi school authority ne yanare ga mangona mateng khar pang ba ne yanarame matter went up to National Child Commission yore National Women Commission ju yore madudagi National Child Commission degi direct SP senapati da sugum case ama khoina phange non reporting to bagi aduna case lokholoi de bagi maram se within 24 hours the status report piro habedegi SP cell eraga madudei du da mo FIR ama khodak register tawraga maduda se na base oza degi headmaster degi principal degi moi commissioner degi deputy loine assistant commissioner loina bak sen re aduga Manipur Child Rights Commission angang gi chairperson box sen ne hiba madu aina case tawraga madu dei du da char seme hearing torko matam da angang du gi statement lo hiba matam da angang du na ngasai di hostile oi greba even madu gi case da magi mapu bo maben bo po yaureba non reporting gi moi loina book tawreba as par lo aduga madu gi trial sa tharang matam sa angang sigi statement da thokiba leiti na mana magi hostile oi hostile statement pir adu gi moi meam do loina ba adum equito hore aduna pokso si da hai se kai no hai matam da any investigating officer sina ngasai gi angang gi victim gi angang gi statement lo ba se at the earliest law aduga madu do audio video recording to godong ni na anova law provision am insert to re ise semaina si thok ta na ba ne ba mana ahan ba da hai ba statement du da di angon da thwe mana si to re myam lo hai re magi 164 statement da su loi hai re aduga court ki trial sa tharak pa da di statement da di ma se court ki da di examination in chip tawraga subjected for cross examination ni by the defense counsel adugi torpa matam na ma hostile oi khare adu oiramina ko su pa upai rete adum loina thadu khare aduna ngasai na pokso aduna ngasai gi khena base pokso si dei se da khoi section 26 si dei se da kari gumba angang am da crime am thoga di mangwan na to he se ta haijen man na ta ba magi nganging ba aduga angang masamaron thok ta boraga anybody silent voice adu ada loi tawraga audio video recording to godong ne ba adu araga di ngasai gi pokso gi trial da di prosecutor ki victim gi sole statement se na accused punishable oye beyond reasonable doubt right angang do na hai radi loi amon si tawre mana hai ba ta atop independent witness support over gi da ka leiti ba aduna submaina thamjage judicial perspective ta
yam no aje thank you madam judge kogi hojiki online viewer gi question duna matam chilo logre because so important a question haibio sigi da ten tak ba answer am tang pibio
ado haraman bagi wai amani ta su samjage kogi honorable chairperson aduga madam akoi legal aid services authority na nupi oiba gira yamna active oi khalage khoi party se hana thagat chaning mutaduga tu madam ani na so madam ahom na yamna hitting to the target ko adugi yam harao bagi san haibado ngasi yamna harao ba haibdi akhoi gi wakhanda laiba laina de he uthorak pagum tawdana akhoi bo hek ta thin bako target du point to bi ba ahana aina thaini ni si thabadi na te thaina so commission so lai du bu ngasi something new ko dana I just would like to congratulate madam busuko dana yam harao he ada si gumba tanja phang yam harao he du bojik aina ngasi ki question asi public sing bubuk na ba sing na khom ko da question la haina khan bu ko dana yam harao he microphone bb bese sing de maru oina madam na chairperson haib do makni charge dar sing adu customary law na khoi bu ki han bani manga matai ka khi manubi ema tameng long gi su report to bangam da do thawai na adu ga ahan sing nupa sing na jisan law gi mak ni adu na ahai mada aina akhoi madam chairperson hai ki do we have to form a very strong women body to break the ice asi taw der di akhoi wa ka ne adu ga ani su ba aina thamjani na kari gi ma report to bano isa mak se I was a very strong activist or worker for the umro case ko adu gi makta aina lead to ga le adu hoi aina haidi haining dre do even at the point of compensation man har ise thai no ko mina halaman sing na nangi lising kun trapi ga do lawram ro to di phau da ko aina when you come the procedure table to table sapam dam da ain amount the haining dre how much she get ko she gets do haining da do na si ko mam khai se sing mi sing the barati na kumrak sungam dre do many people came so I'm those I power resign to ning bopok re bakom ramdi we spend a lot of money energy time aduga khoi na city court su sang su ai haining dre the law enforcing not implement actors sing say law actors sing asi khra akhoi gi singi mi singi su maru ani yang sin bi pham thok pra maram we have to go table to table aduga we don't we are not addressed asi gum ba grievances kya lai bi singi mi sing the number 1 the customary law and the religious system sector aduga the particular system assisting so we cannot decide for ourselves so we need women participation asin ahan ba issue agidra hana ai jam lai adu basi ko
thank you so much this is the other side of the story I mean which is so important which is says we don't have the privilege to listen to such kind of views from the hill areas thank you ma'am so much hojik khoigi keno si ma'am no hojik hai gi baduna ko customary laws have sida khoigi speakers na one after another the importance of customary laws I want the minute ani khatang bio please bear with me for a couple of seconds couple of minutes aina khoigi oja moi na sum khoigi PhD admission lobagi interview to which the go it comes to my mind the customary law sina hen gadabra India constitution law sigi makhala chakadraba hai metang chida in one of the interviews which I was about to take a PhD student in my department. I will not take the name, but one tribal girl who was well educated in Delhi, PhD to well up is the what do you want to do? What's your proposed topic? Sir, I would like to work on the customary laws of our tribes. Well, I don't have any issue. I mean, the Tangkul tribes. He said, okay, very good. Right. But, and then, what is so important and significant about your customary laws? Then, straight away, manning on the Haibane, Shumaina. Sir, our customary law is everything. There is nothing on that which can be put above our customary law. In a very lighter way. Do you mean to say that Indian constitution is less than your customary laws? I mean, speaking otherwise, do you mean to say that your customary law is above the Indian constitution? Mana, yes sir, my customary law is above Indian constitution. Okay, okay. Now, you please get out of my room. Your interview is over. And what I'm trying to tell all of you here is the fact that customary laws are very important, but customary laws should be worked out, should be formulated, should be reformulated within the constitutional laws of the country. That said, they are sitting on the edge of the chair, I know that. Participate question question so let me have the satisfaction of reading out this question from one of the participants. The question here is, yes, Alena. Meterone, I tam pazarke. Education gi mangal fangdingai haibadi among aseng khaidingai matamda lairamba nupigi fibam dagi ngasi education mangal fanglaba matam sidana nupigi fibam si hena sokchil le masigi maram oiba masigi maru oiba maram kari no sini one of the participants hangai se masi yamna fajaba question ne aro masigi answer se participant tu na akogi lady ba akogi respected prominent speaker me answer ko heta haibio sir nang si khumbiu si question se madam si khumbiu haidana heta pinpoint of view ne aina hiding it aina haragadi it amounts to some kind of a bias or whatever it is, you know, which I don't want to be pointed finger. Yawi bro ziki ka question do hang bado ziki question je kana no hang isa si online law. Oh my god, see this is what we have to bear with being online, you know. See online question ne the question se aina masi tetak na minute ani gumba go lady ba khogi speaker manga simadloi thamjarage ne sigi question se hega horak pada ai kanu dagi khogi Sadananda dagi hongjarage sigi question se ai amun padara ura
yani
minute ani tong to pibio telapna concise
khoigi question se haji ki education mangal phangringai na phibam so am me ha phibam hajing nem soksel le ha bane ba
hajing ne soksel le education mangal phangaba matam sine soksel le masi maru e marum kari no
luri badi man kamai khangui no ha bam lei ko question bude matam do to ko na khangjara ko da khoi gi Manipur gi khoi British pre colonial hai tare ko after Vaisnavism la matam da khoi Manipur gi che court se nupi gi court tonga nam le ram hai koi na maru oi ba court ta cherap lai ra then village court lai ra then pacha na nupi gi court am lai ra men hai adui matam se da satna ba forms of punishment hai ka dra adui matam da nupi da moi gi capital punishment piram de then life imprisonment si pi ba ya de na hai ram me adui matam da pa za de theng na ba ada pi ba ya je khungoi na ba ji ki toina nupi am gi kaino sam kak thok pi ra maru kok thok pi kra adu tau bi kra khot kra ba se once upon a time koi se satna ba forms of punishment moi no lauram me ba moi se life imprisonment pi ba mo ta death penalty pi ba mo ta si sing sina kitang less severe punishment ni hana piram me ba duna sigis da khumya da boy problem lai ri sina kai no matam gi matung ina change ta we ba khoi gi lai ri ba situation je matam ma da kai no da khoi na hajik pudi habi ri education magal phangdri ngai da phibam je kamai le rong gi ha je khoi phajana chap cha ba khoi kai no lai te ba sai di khoi thak manana lai ri haina lo de ra thak manan di ana lo de ra kai gi no da hajik su khoi gi hajik habi gi aina hajik gi do khungoi na bai je once upon a time khoi gi accepted forms of punishment oram me ba ana khoi gi how to measure the standard to adu gi da issue ki tang lai ba aduna hana thok ki jo thok ja gre san wai wa khan da di hajik thok an da je khoi future course khoi present dai ho ra ga si do ina focus tau jan ni ai thank you
okay madam just please
aina khumjagadori si exact answer di satisfy oi biro adu aina thengajaba sung wakhal londa akhoi hojik se akhoi family court da divorce masing ji hengale divorce habagi masing se aduga dissolution of marriage ki masing ji hengale mase good symptom nate akhoi je nupi se lai hairaga akhoi import auraga phani ka haiko ai so dum yai adubu nupi se lai hairaga family crisis am thole adu husband and wife lak matanda nupi sing sina hogji akhoi gi generation sina ne generation gap on de dum leirena thaina na akhoi tang ba hogji ti parents sing na masa sing je ai like soi gi ni ma de position holder oi doi ni na tuition chat pa bu or so online bu or so yungi sak thong phidong yungi chat na bi lai du thang mi kat pa khop pa to ba se ama masigi kari haine moral education haigadra masidi loina ayam loi kauna reba adon akhoi lai hebi thabak to bi mi amana hauji after marriage lai lu homa tam si dei da madu haina dram ni na ade megi grasani ko fast food grasani order online da tawni khoni adu dagi ne ba crisis mayam se aduna nupi sing gi thoklei ba mawong tawri ba mayam se aduna hauji akhoi na nupi maitei nupi sing se adum thaba aso so ba tawba decision making da leire adu ada leire foreign da sappa kana tawre ayam se ai 90% lo high game asidai sa matrimonial crisis se adum loi leire karina nupam cha nupi anga partner se leina matam sidai sida usitna rakte thaksi ga se khanga rakte adu lai tamingai premarital relationship leina ba adu matung da adu tawre adaga da tawre hadana akhoi si leiba adu kana go nupi amana lai tamure doctor ore engineer ore magi education qualification doga status manaba natraga status hen man nupam da yum paninge ba ado Manipur gi di nupa sing je ayam mana education da kham jan sahi khar si da di nupi sing na topper da loi la nupa sing je makha se lore nupa sing di khara competition se awang badal leite habanate yam na nem e thak se nupi sing ya dum tawre mayum pan pham leitre palure pan pham thue da na adu de crisis sole adu na akhoi family korom da matrimonial crisis to era ga lakpa si de divorce masing hengatpa dissolution of marriage hengatpa aduna maram oraga masa guardian and was ke angang munabagi lakpa adu de da single parent masing yamakpa si crisis ne akoi social change am la ineba si ga do bede la ino ase akoi na research scholars sing na thijal le ga hena khang ne ba akoi di sahi 60 lang khale adu araga di akoi mamang da toramba generation do matam da computer ga se leiram ponte kam sang matam si dei sida computer thamba ka du de AC pan dong ne khung lok tho ga sang dong ne ka le hauji ti le hine ba akoi phone landline adagi transport paisa thana ba ga se TMO da ga thana ra ga lo ba hauji ti bayam na hauji ti Google Pay lo change la idana aduna akoi human brain sing sa khola ko amorom de advance we le aduga more value da dia khoi nupi sing se down oire en khalle si su nungaite aduga how to check abcd what is the kari difficulties leibano kari deficiency leibano kari ko phataba leibano ana haibedu di isa sing mayam young generation mayam sina research tawre raga madu do avoid tongna bo hotna raga khoi better way of product ga di akhoi gi society se adum nupi sing se adum moral se up tawr ko ngamwe ha pham je thamjaning. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, jam tell me thambiyo.
Masigi question sidi aigi mota di very uncomfortable paradox ne na thamjaninge. Kari gi no habeda ancient time haiba matam sida leram liba nupi gi phibam sidi mi ni haina lobi da ba matam gi po ne. Hojik na uchinna chinna Western movement lomdagi feminism lakpadagi around 1528 kumbra ay ningjang bada adwai dagi feminist movement ama lakpadagi nupi si mi ne na lobhogod pirakpada ngai gi ba matam du dagi ne adna matam du da leramba akoi gi given the society of the Manipur da su sap manai prithvi thoi ba thodok tuga ningthau roli matam da lerami ba nupi gi status idi nupi se mi oi bani haina lowda bagum bane adugumba picture amaga hojik la iba developing gi oriba developed society kabak kabak prithvi sida nupi singsi education gi mangal phangal leharaga India da su Bal Gangadhar Tilakna machi ihan hana nupi si like tamba hobi ba matamda sak thongba se kamdong na phajana tambi ga dage haina uba adugumba school college ama nan hodo pi gi bane Manipur society sida maduda ahan bada nupi bu like tam na ba hoba matamda achauba struggle amani nupi singna akoi gi numbers of the women educationists Kamala Maharashtra gi mahanaga hudorpa matam di movement nupi se mi ne na thaba horom daba matam gi picture ama khaka hojiki hengalakliba developing oriba nupi singi oriba stage amaga comparable oiba pot ama khagla khoi pirak pasi khumbada achumba answer phangani haiba thajade aduga loinana hojik matamda nupi gi movement hengalakpana maram oidana hen reported tawrakpa nupi gi value nupi gi emotions nupi gi rights haibasi la aba matamnina nasagi suklai leiram daba sukhang khangam daba pot ama pukhala abanina maduna hen baijini masana tabani haibase agi question khomjaninge loinana sigi mathakta Manipur da natana prithvi pumbada chanaba lona makhakta honesty of the male nupa na nupi lon ba bagami lakpa matamda di society khudimangna approve tawga chanabi ne hana yaeba whereas nupi da tholokpa matamda di madubu oktabini fattabini haidana mahakpu inthokpagi society gi chanabi se kanana sembano these are the man made laws karigumba nupai amana magi hanba marriage da maning thungaktraba otpa naibana khangba lei bangamaktrasu sire phau lei haibane ba that is the full example of our sati gi da lei ba mayam du ne ba madugi reformer mayam na sai koi gi tang journalist na takpi ki ba reform am khak darkar lai na haire ise ado Raja Ramon roina maduda reform tawraga sendokri ba nupi gi adumna hojik su reform khara yanam darkar tare matam du da yengamba perspective midyeng ado hojik ti hongba mathau tare nupi gi hengalai ba mangthar iba haina koi madam judge na hojik takbiri ba sisu lan badi nate karigi akhoina matam amada tamakpa amadi haurakpa akhoi gi wahan thokta nupina sumaina tawragadi phajadaba nupina sumain tawbadi chatnadaba haiba ma man made laws mayam ama akhoi gi social system da leramne madubu kanthorokpa boundary lalakpa singdudi phattaba nupi oktaba nupi haina changjan bieba then my basic question is nupa mana nupi manga thibadi kanagumantan question tawdraba tawrakte hauji bhawda lisang sina akoi gi chahi hore iba chahi yankai humbu aina khangjarakpa mirol tarakpadagi whereas nupi mana marai bak thidana natraga kariguma incident amadagi mayum anirak panba taragadi mado aphaba nupi gi marakta society na hauji baw singhande haibase hauji akoi ni uri ba wafam amane adu oi taragadi hangbirai ba question sigi wahan thokse amutang khanda view inside yang view sagi visionary haibadi yade masigi matang sida yamna philosophical oiba kaino khara reform tongminna ba che akhoi ngasi ma hingminari ba societies da yamna akan mamong da darkar leire haiba se ai thamjaninge thank you
thank you question se counter question amana answer to bani hojiki duna question has been answered by a counter question. That is also possible. Questions are very important, answers are not. I always maintain that asking the right question at the right time is more important than trying to find an answer. I think I question answer, no problem. You leave it to the next generation. Next generation will come up with the right answer. But what is important is ask the right question at the right time. Dr. Priyadarshini Gangte. Matang kasang tiyan ko doctor.
Yani oza. Kanoni da oza CD mayamnasu different opinion pibiri ko asi kharaga dum kharadi dum akoi si pura amadagi pura kenagani di thazade hana na nupi si karimbong nupi si slave kumno ko asida dum yazarabane ba nupi mana slavery oina lerambane ba nupi imsi nupi imda kaigumba phataba ama sathaba adagi nupi na sa ising thongba adagi di kari yam haidragasu aduma mayam do loy yarambani ado hojikti education mangan phangye hairaga asaisa thudongni education mangan gi sunate ba change is the unchanging kaino duni akoi gi prithvi gi hongpagi matungina ngasai gi agent mani ko sigi sense akoi na mindset se gear up tahukdaba akoi na huzik akoi na warim da kanola iko akoi se hong bayam lai iko warim da akoi intellectual growth se le hokdaba akoi each and everyone akoi gi marakta adule hokdaba dagi nupa khangde nupi khangde mostly nupi na nupi gi da yam thin na ngang basi si tawe aduna akoi gi patriarchal system si prithvi gi oina universal phenomenon amadi oibane ko adu patriarchal sisu yam thina wrongly akoina construe tauba darkar ta ding sai tamo pradip na habi bugum akoi ri kari haba redefining haisra restructuring haisra adum bagi mong da hanagi sanaramba mong sida kari mo ka hendraga adum masigi sna nupa nupi se nupi su human being ni haibagi pot se asi asu adugi poto khamina ba ma darkar ta ena khale id understanding ko ani makse nupa nupi ani makse understanding adu lemina baduni mutual understanding duni adu bu leiradi loi la ni dum thank you
well Pradip you will have the last say
yeah thank you aina tawsi masai odana tapan bi indigenous peoples ki rights ki customary law ki highway related to mo chang wadani kitang hani su kitang touch so hoge aina aisu sigi discussion ma yawjaru haidar moina khoi UN Declaration of Rights of the Indigenous Peoples sigi debate am kan tonari kan sida aisu kortana backward discussion yaw ya moina highway me andri learn da ho haidar are da hairi se khoi indigenous people khoi sa haidar se law no po jam le adu indigenous people u pot moi thaza the pot khasi mai to incorporate of sigen le na kan sida moina hairi se everything will we can accommodate everything except when it touch the when paramilitary norms ma'am another when just kogen that's already aroi idea when regardless of who aina sigi just kogen si that's slavery ai customary law like slavery ai hermena natraga india gi ordinary law so mai just kogen is the untouchable ni so aroi si so la international court of justice ki madumina national law orgas who indigenous law orgas ne aroi posma thang re posma khoina mi haba akoi customary law madumina je akoi child labor ai natraga gender inequality ai slavery ai piracy je khoi chanabi ni ka habasi khoi just kogen solo pone sim sim sai yaroi atai lore incorporate to ni habi ponam yawba adu matang thamjoga du kan sai gi sim matang siradi akhoi gi kerobi jamta modernize organ se da hen problem thoi no hagasi I think it's a problem issue with the people who accept patriarchy si ai na dem kamu sana khoi reformation la kan sira reformation yani da kamu hai wane khoina tainari si emancipate to kan sira emancipate to kamu no tainari bi re khoina America da yang kan sida black man slave learn me moi slave learn me slave am si emancipate to kan sida social disorder thoi na social disorder si thoi do ni han mai le do ni hai ba kamu sira ne ye to si khoi si ju ngai khoi nupi me am si nam thoi bi le bi ram da gi education la awareness la scientific ways of life khange adana khoi reform to si hai kan sida reform la kan dang sai hai dang sai family kai re khol le ga hai do family jo ne just to ni nupi de just to no te ta sing hai ai di victim da mon taina san bi mo ma le khoi sum yeng kan sida ba na ta na mi emancipate to hanan nam thal le ka mu do hoga che gi hai kan sida hoglo do no hoga pa kan sida siling ne ma le ha ga siling jo kan to si na khoi na same with the society and same with the victims do ina mo one minute taina bi re si dai jam tin ya ning da ba hai da re ina sum yeng je ba ta si na khoi na society san reform to hai sai khoi na refer to the Raja Ram Mohan gi moi matam mi discussion to ai Bipin Chandra gi like ni moi discuss do Bipin Chandra gi like ya si moi na pam mi si we want modernization we want to change the system without breaking the tradition tradition is a patame and lotuk si ruga sati hero ne but we don't want just westernization west also did so many things which are bad moi me loin lo se habite adu less modernize of se hui si modernize of si hana namthar le me kam je holan si sati lak sati to hon gi de hui society loi kai thare hai basi di yaling mom thok te ba mai to na hui na som da hui nupi me emancipate ore office ka re adagi moi takum da le ngata le wi yaure adu le yo hedi araktre adu di hui society ka hedi moi na kai bini hai di victim da mon tyson bi mon tare adu so quite to sem do si ge we have to modernize our society. No, instead of asking the modernize of the Han Namthabirum Gangu Hogalakanda, otherwise, how you want the amount of Tokun can say is more of that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll come to you. Sigi, Hojiki, second online viewer, second question, Yam Samna, Mamang, then P. Film Parva, Adugo, Fatimam Karigino, I was Yakogi, expert Manga, the Gate, Tabir, Matunda, Hoji Florida, Masi Tamzare, Aduga. Ama gumba taraga ang tukumbiyo ba yamas ganito buta sige questions sige answers
sige questions sige answers sige mari lenyan ay pon mga khaktang kano tawjage ahan bada TV gi example oina haijage TV gi serial da crime patrol na leiba adugi da uliba crime do adui matau tamaga angang singna crime to yam yawe ba sumaina taw dana mobile akoi mobile use toje adugi TV serial mobile si pocket ta yaw le khut ta yaw le mobile ta yaw ba post dagi yengaga sagi phattaba thawdo wa thok nupi angang gi thabak se taweba aduna masigi saida karma makhalgi awareness adusu yana touch of awareness ama karam tagi pangthok pa laga yagadagi hase khanaba ma second point da hasiki only get awareness su yaw re asi awareness adum pondre point ani je ahum suda akhoi ahalamana tambiramba lairik laisu laiki akhoi haye samle ai sabau da laisu yongna khangde laisu se yam maru oy aduna laisu se kamai taw dana karamba education tam da natragana karamba legal gi tam da karam makhal gi we da laisu di hengalan na hona ga da ge sima amathang da fundamental duties mi amata fundamental duties mapung phana pangthokte isamak yauna aduna fundamental duties se mapung bana pangthona be tamakta awareness se kalam makhal gi awareness pi ga da ge habasima samlamna awareness haijara ga ina haijing basi sigi question ji ga answer mari lenana awareness akoina aisu ai samak su one of the resource person oin ai wangang batsale hayeng mak se ai resource ai person oin ai sat kadamni program je cancel tawre atopa pen kan normal ai sinaja ga ai program le de sidai den pusale jate kinati aina chatpa matam da awareness ha ga mi chi leiti ba mi mari manga khatang leiramba ma leiraga ga su ko haitare taroi da ba haigadra punging jang na taroi da ba dumaina ayama ta aduga chin kg amamam yeni hagadi tholak pagumba sumain to awareness ai samna tan patam janwa aduna ta padi mi amata ready oide awareness pi bata adagi ai khul amal lei koi thawal sani maming di panjara ge hol thawal district mung da lei bajani ai isa mangna awareness mafam da sa mana ba point ta topic ta anila homlak bizarure hari ba jaga du same case ai honda lai kai ginu habda moi awareness to ta deba aduna maram oraga problem ja dum thoeba ngarang makta su aina pau tai kayam sengba su mamakte ai ju khangdri pau se si da si di yore di hai aduna adu budi process sa charamani ai dan di hanjala roge 10 years na 8 years amada rape to yen taiba moi kanu official ki process di sa kre pau hai re aduna yam kan manung di hanjala roge kamai 10 years boy am na 8 years girl am na kamai rape to ri no ba si hang ba bo hang ni ba si kai thok lai no hariba akoina hasai nupi gi wa fam question do nupi gi je matamam da di kaim to ram da ba dong na to lai ram ni haujina lai kai gi no kai na te wrong concept lo bai ni wrong use do bai ni for example mobile wrong use do bai gi ni si hai jani
yes yam na phaje isagi ming problem ta habiu bai khang da
isagi ming khoisnam le misnam mai dingu ai thobal dagi ni aduga ai isama rimal lawyer oijai si jem thobal ga khoi gi madam district session thobal gi jagada rimal lawyer oijai aduga dalsa thobal gi panel lawyer oina julai je
okay thank you so much yam phajagre koi sigum ba sidani koina armchair teacher armchair judge armchair journalist with Fate, go to the field kind of high field ki answer never PV is very, very good. I mean, I really love it. But sigi question sida that about top question we entertain to gichira I gi when the I am open.
I can no matter how you see my tongue sida.
Yeah, please.
Manipur State
Member Secretary, Manipur State Service Legal Authority, please.
The organizer. the organizer of this fund.
Please.
Asigi matang sida aina wahi ama anidang hujiki ekoi remand lawyer gi kaino ekoi retainer lawyer gi makha taba oina ekoi gi hujiki matam gi internet ki angang singna mobile met pase si khra parents sing da khra phajana yengchan biba asi yam darkar oi braina khale abde ekoi na children home da ekoi na kaino project kaino gi ekoi gi pilot project ama paikhat pane angang sing children home sida lairiba angang sing sigi wakhan sida ekoi gi crime ama commit tawraga angang macha duna crime ama commit tawraga home sida yosala ibase kari maram gi do magi mindset to the kari leibagi no magi background se kai gi no haina khangna ba ekoi na Dr. Lenin khoi child psychologist khoi ga tied up tawraga kaino tawba kanda angang macha 7 years ki angang macha ma thengne ba kari gi no ekoi na 1-to-1 each and every child 1-to-1 amuka interact tawba magoi pull up interact tawba sida khanglap pasida mana mobile met pakanda sigumba kai haigani phattaba poche thengnaruba angam duna khangbadi natte adu phattaba poche uruba ada karam tawbno sibo haina yenge haina tawba kanda angang do hujiki children home dunda crime ama commit tawbagi adu observation home da aduna hujiki ekoi retainer lawyer na haibado yam chumbajani. Thank you so much.
Yare akoi yam enlightening with session ne hujiki je ado hujiki when the being a moderator ko ai minute khatang logja daga summarization ki type ta koi well, I'm sure many of you would love to put questions, would love to answer. But anyway, I don't want to disappoint you as well. Matam kitang level nina mi ani khakta pijage. 2 persons with the strict, instruction. Though I never wanted to use the term instruction. Minute amma nitang lower ga na pointed question ang biyo bullet question.
Thank you so much, sir moderator. First of all, my name is Randoni. I represent an organization called Sathi. I'm the assistant director. Aduga aina nga saidagi tazara pada aizu nupi amani ko aduga akoi isigi violence against women se fully endorsed awi but aina hudik thamjagadoi ba point sidi as a women thamjararoi ai isamak domestic violence ki victim ni and I have gone through that, I have surpassed that and I have moved ahead in life. Adudadi kaim tangangjararoi tawbadabu aina huzik aigi grassroots ta work tawjariba akoi nga sai violence against women haibada akoi trans women se transgender women haiba category ama sulai base sise hundok pigum si haiba si maina thamjaningi because transgender women, those who are born as male but those who think moi masana ko nupi ne na khanjaba kangu sing se moi na face story of violence di akoi nupi na face to badagi so hen basu yaw haiba the degree of torture, the kind of violence they face at home, starting from home till school ko aidagi healthcare setting da schools the face of violence isu yamna masing yame akoi hodimak akoi violence against transgender women and gender and sexual minority gi program ama paikhatchari ko sida akoi Manipur mathanda da more than 2 years ki manung da more than 250 violence has been registered with us. Sida trans women ki number sina so hena yame 90% are trans women, 10% are trans men. Aduna akoina any sort of such kind of discussion which involves violence po oiro natraka welfare for women po oiro any sort of discussion for women to matamda I think we should always take the transgender women also in the loop or involve them. So adu do maktang haizage.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Very welcome suggestion. Well, amak khatanga question chimta han lage duga I'll come back to you. Amak kuthanga le du loisala se. Yes, yam ten tak na ko briefly thambiu ba.
I isagi mingna Sunil FXP India Surakshage in project officer in Elizabeth. I organize Maruin human trafficking of the child sexual abuse the Maruin work toting as I Vikramjit letting it is question hanging bane adubu mazat kre adubu aina Maruina ina hanging question sing si kharab diwa adubu kena atamna ka resource person kharada atamna hagjage ahan bada ikoigi sir ikoigi member secretary Sadananda Sorokhaibam da question amatang ikoi result se masal sagi result se newly created district hai ta bare moi sing si da ikoi loinabak yaurabra dal sagi kano sing si karigum oh sorry deputy member secretary sir Sadananda Sorokhaibam sorry mamang da lana kano address to bagi tamakta ado aikoina pam aina khangning basi aina atai to program sing to ru matam da let's say parjol gumba hangba matam da police ki training program gumba to matam da moina dal sa si leita mali khangde kana hangakwa gumba du gumba yawaiba adona Manipur da nauna district create to giba jingje masida kana dal sa loinebak link khabra aduga makoi singje link agadi makoi jingda relevant stakeholders singda hena aware wena ba haidi punna khusam nar ka samina na bagi damakta coordination mechanism je hena phagan na bagi damakta kari step lokhat khrage na traga lokhat kadori ke have pochima
hoi adugi question to the limit to honbiro ko
adudi to question jing in at to horage
because there yes adugi question to the limit to biro so that I can ask the Honorable Deputy Secretary to come back to you. Yeah. Okay. Sadananda, happy to see you.
Question is kita lower na
Sir, the hanging question decision lower. Sir, the hanging question decision lower.
Can one koi is the Dalsala District Legal Service Authorities. Howziki when a revenue district is at the judicial district on its level. Accordingly, as a revenue district, the 16 districts who judicial district, the Koi Mapan Gitanga Riva. And a fair roll under Chuchampur, Kamjong is still under Ukrul, then Kaksing is still under Kaitawala, Dumleva. Tawatabu, Koyi Yogdatar, Sukayi legal aid clinic, Harris. Simadi, we try to cover almost all the district. Hajiti, I am alone in Lairam never. Aduda, Moi Poliski, I know Natar, Kanga, with the Orambaya. Adu, in any case, any problem like Kanda Koyi, Nasigi, flyers, the Yarus, Sigi, front office, key numbers, mine, Pijari, the Nako. Sida is that any time I don't contact or any first problem to Tar to Koyi to Jampur Dalsagi, Sigi helpline numbers. She doesn't power with a Koya neighbor. Anytime I don't reach out to one.
Aduga, Kogi, Shongi, Kai Kunazari, Bungo, say, questions, the limit of Zarage. Please, go. Aduga, Kogi, Hojiki, the Pimacha, Ibemana, Hagiba, Koshandugi, response to Kogi, Madam Chairperson, Manipur Commission for Women, Akitan Tambining Bra. Haibagi chance away. So, I'm telling you, Tambi.
Oh, I must see, I'm not going to know pertinent to a question. I mean, so far, Hosibauda Mukta transgender gi oiba port amata lakhi dabadunani bemana sategi kainona hangbiri basi adubu. It's a very good news for you, for all transgender. For the first time in the history of the Manipur Assembly budget, transgender gi damakta akoi budget hape. Aduga loinana budget policy da transgender gi damakta tunganba magi kaino ama space ama akoi hape. Aduga loinana along with that Manipur State Women Commission na ahanba oina with or without permission masi aina hanglani haina aina grievances cell redressal nakoi gi awana makoi gi mayam se kanada redress tawgadagi haiba achauba pot ama khak leiba se masi kokna naba redressal grievance cell ama akoi gi kaino da Manipur State Women Commission da hanglana bagi akoi preparation da leijari due to budget ki chin ba mayam china koi ngam ki da bane ai already so announce tawjagar grabani adugi mathakta aina mayam da hajaning base kari gi damakta transgender singbu hana sarkar na ying da badongna lerami bano haiba gi matang sidani kari gumba thabak ama development plan ama natraga makhoi gi damakta kari gumba thabak khara tawbina bo hona bataba da we need money paisa change maram aduna paisa ji yaudabana maram oidana social welfare na su namu 2016-17 adwai dagi tawna bo hona jarame makhoi gi board su sembirame tabu activate tawbangam gide karina marama due to the lack of the fund adubo hojikti masigi potsi handaki new budget ta reflect tawbira banina matung tabadadi darkar leiba punamakse social welfare gi sagi board siga tanaraga semak pangam gani habigi thajaba do ai pijageng se thank you
Madam Chairperson, good news indeed. Hojikti ko
Sir Moderator.
Okay.
I say transgender singsi ramda kai thamjage ai gi kitang cannot talk jabdo Supreme Court na makhoi se transgender singse legalize tawkhre adubu makhoi se with solemn affidavit tawraga self declaration amadi ai transgender gi manung jalani haiba se sange nupa na nupi oiba aduga nupi na nupa onba nate adu khangba se ai kaino haijarake akhoi gi judice adu gi khangba se Manipur di nupa na nupi oibagi transgender resa na masing hele nupi na nupa saraga aduda transgender olokpadi irei leiramoiba aduga transgender singsi dei sida I came across one criminal case transgender ni nupa na nupi sa on bani masak su yam phajai ado commando na mase sexual harassment tobagi nate si su tabiram da be ai sigi tobasa sexual harassment tobagi aina commando dugi mathakta cognizance loraga mana thimbige thinpa mayangi view dadi anpa masen samina bani he uba aduga ma se awang biosi gi hotel amda pusan biraga sexual exploitation se adum tobi bani bakhangam daba aduna madugi je cognizance loraga trial horokpada ai so dum pai hidre hojiki outcome ise judi ai so khangdre adubo akhoi judiciary gi site gi su akhoi gi tofam thokpa moi gi protection law gi protection piba dudi tofam thokpadi adum tori haibo wafam do kitang thamjaning dane yanjabani da thank you
Before anyone speaks up in this very room let me say handaki se akhoi gi Pradip being a senior journalist I maunda sigi matam si pira matungda ko I summarize oxinjarage aduga that for that you will have to forgive me Pradip please say whatever within a couple of
minutes in high secondary transgender it's been adequately answered intervention tawni is na haigi ha sun thamir ko mobile angan mobile bai bagi adu crime tholobi post in the hanging adu smai thola cancer parents da moida false mo bi don tasin haigi mobile do ngana pahen ga paheloi dawni aduga pahen ga haigi di parental filter yaurina company khu yauru se mandatory ni filter man hajum beraga moina changbi aba site chum changhan ba jaga leba aduna adu je aduga kitang larger picture sida see pose explain torom sira khu thain gi lai haidar kan gi sai khuna khato ji ba France Finance gi Research of the Earth sida hal yauri ba sai ma haikan sida khoi gi mass media ba explain to kan mass media si mai tam di internet electric ko moi tim religiously hoi school to media da kan internet electric aduga man haikan sida khoi mass media hai television thok ba si to kan sa khoi affluent society mem si gi image mem si khoi third world zero kan the third world the problem kha thokan hai ma haijare ba kaino an example le nam tang thamat lo sing am sang de bi samna haikan da khoi gi cinema Hollywood cinema yang sa car ho bi thon nakan da thai thawidna American mi yang se to ya da poni khang ne mo se to already kuiro se ga minute ma mon pha ni ma dum jil tang ni ka traffic thoi bi asima da uri kan se da khoi third world yang kan se that's norm and uri kan se khoi to kan se di chat na bi ni story phaji en thon ko se di law gi posi mo da ingon da sigi background da sigi inhibiting factor ram le le ro mo na adana ma hai si mass media se khoi na gonna sort of third world you kan se da kan mass media ha kan se is dominated by the western world chakut pa sing na chakut pa world yin je kan da di moi di khang limitation yan khang yes asi to oi bonde da ji drama ya wa da ni khang jab do akoi som lag de reality oi ba u kan se da khoi na adu immediate to kan khoi lo soi thar bu si me am se khoi na mayam da si awareness lo le nom da ka le arong sai mobile ma tang de de na sum hai ja na sum khang jab da di ma pa do ina da di pi ko do ne khang je ke no da anga na mobile ke pa hali no pahan jagari kan hai parental filter band ko hap dino hai bai poto
yes jamsume jite machi se I can assure you that never ending session hoigani because the topic chosen is so important so significant so crucial I mean the world in which we live now aduna yamna hangning ba kya hangan bangam da for want of time adugi da mukta ko you will have to forgive me adu ngasigi pathokriba paper or presentation tarukshi yamna fajava insightful oibangakani from different perspectives tagi ko adu masigi di pathokre hoi tare but seminars conferences workshops yam tokre all over the world all over the country all over the state since so long but what is the outcome is late there because we don't do anything aduna what is the way forward? What is the way forward? What do we do? These are the, these are the issues. These are the challenges. These are the perspectives. What do we do? When action oriented, kind of darkar ladies. And violence against women. Conference, discourse, or whatever. Manipur State Legal Service Authority, in collaboration with Manipur State Commission for Women. I wish there were a couple of reporters. When a note pointed out recommendation policy recommendation to the state government or to the concerned department of the government, so that whatever outcomes, whatever say points, answers that have been raised in this today's forum, include policy program way forward to Manipur State Legal Service Authority moderator or as a moderator higher, forget about the fact that I'm a moderator here. Please take me as a teacher, as a humble teacher, because I have been teaching for the last 30-40 years. Police officers something that I have been saying all along in my life. Education, all right. Education, all right. But then again, there are two kinds of education. Two kinds of education. Which one is more important? That is what I would like to share with you. One kind of education is formal education, the kind of education that we get from the schools, colleges, universities. I mean, degree we have acquired formal education. So we have become very educated with all the degrees under my belt. Education problems issues we have neglected another kind of education, the informal kind of education. What is informal kind of education? Family education, the kind of education that you give it to your children in the family. Sociology room family is quite a unit. It's a basic unit of any given society. American society, European society, or Maltese society, or whatever it is. Family the people education quite a family the parental education, parental care, society the anti-social element, I tell you. Provided they are given good parental family education. And family education is family education is the degree crime to the TV formal education do important, no doubt, to get a job, all right. But what is more important, to become a good citizen. Good citizen, the informal education people. Informal education, parenting is my appeal to all the parents. Without any kind of discrimination between girls and boys. Sigi discrimination say family the whole keep plight challenges I happen to be born and brought up in a family where there is no discrimination between daughters and sons. I tell you, I'm very proud of that fact. My father, a very humble government servant, we are 9 altogether, 4 sisters and 5 brothers. Father never discrimination. He has given us the highest kind of education that he could afford to at that particular point of time. But not because I have gone to Bombay, not because she has gone to Delhi. No. But because my father has given me this informal education, and which is duly supported by my mother. And my mother, if I may tell you, is illiterate, I tell you. Total illiterate. My mother doesn't know how to the ABC Shorosra Khangde ma. But she's an intellectual in her own right. Mana kuritam be able to lashu kari no guys. Aduna I see hygiene whether it is an issue of violence against women or any other issue, family education je fajana pibiraba otherwise that society will be a society worth imitating. Adugo masi matang sida Barack Obama na the last president kogi Trump ki mamang do giba Democrat president Barack Obama na chathagi policy mai mayam share to remind of them mayam to pabiram mani. Barack Obama, when he was the president of the United States of America, magi machanupi ani se phone pahinde phone pai biyati hai matam tu da kogi American mobile lu kari ba Apple na tabdo Motorola. Yes, there was the craze among the American youth. Man magi machaji pahinde. That is something that we also can do. But according to forget about a child of say 5-6 years of age. Say I'm a katangani the ngaidiba chanupi duna mobile papa chanari madia to by the Facebook to by the phone to by the mamado mapado sok tuk serene. What he lead in with a sense of pride. A young ang the shit over here, she tawa here. No, that's the wrong way of giving education. I know Hajari, family education, the importance PBU. Aduga ngasigi seminar conference sigi kudong chab si lauraga sigi way forward today ay ngasigi si siliva Manipur State Legal Service Authority da thamjare aduga masi hairaga aibu ngasigi su fajagraba nungai khraba angoi yamna solemn oiba academic discourse da moderator view haidana haye Birakpa Manipur State Legal Service Authority bo aina amu hanan thagajari mayam thagajari. Thank you so much.
Matam se loisalakpaga matam maram oiduna before winding up, I would like to thank our esteemed panelists and the moderator for today's program. And also, I would like Manipuri dum thamjarage akhoi way forward se yam samna akhoi kaino tawjare akhoi samlapna thamjarage proper implementation of laws to strengthen the awareness program henna kaino tawba reforms to reform social system or customary law se amuk relook tawba kaino nupisingi hena phagatna ba ko khara wat pa leibana ko and thagi akhoi kaino na su thambikre FXB na su haibadi awareness se khara chingdi lamda khara wat pa adugumba su leibana adugumba de hena focus pina ba su akhoi program leijai. We have chart out the plan akhoi na chingdi lamda hena kaino tongna ba akhoi legal aid kamai phangangani legal laws kamai na kaino hena khangan ba ngamani ngamna ba akhoi gi team na plan out tawzare aduga akhoi patriarchal mindset haigi badu ko patriarchal mindset kamai na akhoi je hongtok hanna ba nupi singi hena or trans women gi damakta kaino hena kaino tawba sigi sulaire aduga victim compensation da hena kaino to hanba khangda bagi mayam compensation loba ngamda ba mayam sulai aduga compensation scheme du su khara asoi ba yawudi mi singdo hena kaino tawba khudong chada ba leibadu kamai address tawsi haiba si issue aina thamjaninge akhoi organizing team na aduga ngasigi program se akhoi proper focus se koina reporting tawrak da base akhoi sai data adu tawe haibe keno ma leina bado data se akhoi phazna khangda aduna proper research akhoi budget to proper research ki budget ki da su aina akhoi hapaning ba pame kayun hadi akhoi data thiba kan da phangde ba khwai de maru oi ba se kanana kaino tawi no karam da achum no haibagi amado but newspaper report so aina haibadi adum lumna di lowam thoi kayun hadi akhoi mass anamna phangiba report se kaino ne ba newspaper da gisu koina dum phangja bana adu ko atopa bagi kaino da gisu 2019 khatangi madam phangba ko 2020 gisu okay hoi adu umba dai bodo koina proper koina budgeting da su khara hena research okay Thank you, ma'am. Okay, utilize so biraga ko. Hen utilize so biraga. May ama lady koi volunteer may amam sutum thola kani ko. Aduna research se phajana tor ko proper data ma koi na hack kai gondo oh CD ne khang mo adu mama khangani. Yes, ma'am. Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, ma'am. We noted down. Aduga with this, akoi punna akoi have the all stakeholders punna chatminasi aduga legal aid nupi say under reporting tauba or report tauga su karai de report taudu no khang da bado akoi na kanyo da kanyo akoi da pamphlets ama su yen thok sa kre ko Manipur State Commission for Women da su laaga mating lobo yani as well as Manipur State Legal Services Authority da su mating lobo yagani akoi gi nupi gi oina di free and competent legal aid and services phangana bagidam akoi yam kan honari awat po kaya masu laramasu yai but we are trying our best aduna akoi si hairaga akoi way forward se aduni akoi ge kanyo se awareness to hen henkat ba plus access justice to hen phang ba ngamna ba koi nupi victim sing mating pangwi ba se akoi ge pandam ni. With this, I would like to thank you all our esteemed panelists, our esteemed moderator, chief guest, and respected member secretary Manipur State Legal Services Authority. The idea behind this event is Madam and Sir, Madam Member Secretary Manipur State Legal Services Authority. The idea se koi da kanyo to wirakuni duga sig event se koi na we would like to thank Manipur State Commission for Women for collaborating with us and see haraga. I would like to thank you all the participants and let's end of the session. Thank you, ma'am.